a show in town, it's going down. Every week we're back on solid ground. Steel toe slipping, but we're gripping. Got the tea to spill, it's always flipping. From April's script to Aaron's glee. Oh, this drama's just a spree. Polydrama, legal trauma, another win. Oh, that's the karma. This little piggy went to YouTube. This little piggy's on Rumble now. This little piggy's begging for dollars, and this little piggy's breaking down loud. Every week we'll recap it slow. Tune in for this little piggy show. From revenge porn to felony, it's a circus, can't you see? The toe is bent, the goal is spent. His empire crumbles, all hell sent. April's playlist on repeat. Aaron's lies we can't defeat. The countdown's on, it won't take long to see this piggy squeal his song. This little piggy went to YouTube. This little piggy's on Rumble now. This little piggy's begging for dollars, and this little piggy's breaking down wow. Every week we'll recap it slow. Tune in for this little piggy show. Oh, this little piggy ain't missing a thing. Just sit back, laugh, and watch the king.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to This Little Piggy. Oh, I got a little free hair falling. Welcome to This Little Piggy, a show, a roundtable discussion about Aaron Imholte and the Steel Toe Morning Show. Joining me today are our old pal Moody from this show. You know him from this show. And for the first time, Adam Busch is joining us. Hi, Adam.
What's happening? Not my first time being on this
second
show.
time.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
And I like that you saw yourself in the mirror, and the first thing you thought was, the hair's got to get fixed. That was the big problem you saw.
Yeah. Well, I can't get rid of the skin. It gives too much traction.
You may have forgotten the last time Adam was on, we had Gino on as well, and that was a very no one.
Okay, so he wasn't on.
Exactly. Yeah.
I guess
Gino was talking over everyone. And
well, it was
Karl,
interesting. I had to leave early on that day, and it was planned in advance, but everyone assumed that I was leaving because of Gino, because I just couldn't stand him. But they were wrong. I actually had to go.
It's probably a common thing that happens. Karl will be here, but he'll be late, so please enjoy the first few minutes of the program yelling free. I know people love to bash Karl for that kind of thing. Anyway, what an eventful week on Steel Toe. And look, Adam, I've been enjoying your commentary over on WATP lately. I find you a breath of fresh air. You always come in with some insights that I haven't thought of, that I don't think even Karl has planned when he pulls these clips. So it'll be great to get your opinions on what's been going on with him. Also, I think the more you cover a guy, the more insight you get into his personality. I found it interesting. You were covering Michael Ray Bauer this week, and you're like, he's a good guy. I like this guy. It's like, oh, wait. Oh, wait. I can't wait to see you come around.
I can see it coming. I can see what's, heading towards me, and it's not going to be good. But for now, I'm trying to.
He is a better guy. I think you're right. I think he is a better guy. Like, I don't think he's a corrupt, like malicious soul like a lot of these guys like Stuttering John and even Aaron Imholte are. But it'll be interesting to watch your growth in the sector.
It feels like Michael Ray Bauer just hurts himself. Like his sphere of pain or influence around him is just to himself, whereas Aaron and Stuttering John are much wider, but John is too stupid to have his one get any bigger. But Aaron's the dangerous one from my perspective.
They're ruining families. They're ruining like other people's lives.
What they do have in common, though, and Bauer has this, is that Bauer doesn't like to admit it, but he did have a job that he loved that defines him, that went away, and he's not giving up. And he refuses to admit to everyone around him that the reason he's still in LA, the reason he's even doing this show is because he will not give up on entertainment, on making money for being himself. Whether he calls it I'm limited because of my capabilities, because of my disabilities, because of my financial situation, because of what happened to me 20 years ago, it's still just him not wanting to get a job.
Yes, 100%. Welcome to the show. As you know, this program operates off your money. We need to hit the goal. We don't usually do this, but we've learned from Aaron Imholte that the only way to make it in this business is to hit the goal. So we will be needing your money today. Krautcat started us off with a gifted membership. We appreciate that. K-Fur, member for 18 months, says smoke pipe, get hype. And I thought I'd do a one of my favorite super tips from the past week, this one, because Aaron Imholte told me that it's over for me and I thought this was a great super tip. Oh, fuck.
Patrick, it's over. Anyways, we haven't made much money today. Please send us some money. Please.
That's Patrick. It's over. Anyway, we're not doing that great today. If you could send in some money. So your super tips are open. I have bumped it up to cost $10 to interrupt the show. So we are going to make more money off that, and we're going to get less interruptions because I've raised the price. I hope that's how that works. I took Economics 101. I think that's how supply and demand works, right? You raise the price, less people will.
Yeah, no? Unless they want to prove something. I guess the if you get one rich whale,
give me money. Yeah. Prove me wrong. What a busy week in steel toe lore. I mean, I don't even know where to start. Johnny had to stand up one day to make the goal. This co-host he has with MS. We had some planning on giving back to the fans. This is one of my favorite clips that I pulled. And we've also found out that Aaron is beating Melton left and right because
Patrick, give me another week in the Dabbleverse. Me and my bubble guts will be ready to add my expert opinion to the steel toe conversation.
Yes.
I myself prefer flip-flops or sandals. I can kick them off as soon as I walk through the door and slide them back on when I need to get groceries or toilet papers. But I want to listen to other people's thoughts before I speak.
I want to listen to other people's thoughts too. What was your favorite thing this week, Moody? What do you want to dive into?
I liked being called out directly because, you know, all the steel toe listeners know who Moody is. Like that is, it's insane that my name is coming out of his mouth. Like, what are you doing?
Has he mentioned you, Adam? Has he brought you up yet by name?
Not that I know of, not directly at least.
You're not doing enough seething. You gotta seethe more.
I'm part of the collective seethe, but I haven't struck out on my own to really, attack him. I was deeply offended by that having his Johnny stand. That was insane.
Well,
that really was.
He kept saying Johnny wanted to do it. He kept saying this was Johnny's idea. Johnny wanted to do it.
That's the part that killed me because when you become an adult, you learn that eventually sometimes people don't say what they mean, and your girlfriend says, it's fine, and it's not really fine. Sometimes a guy doesn't want to be called out on camera and says, yeah, I can do it. He really doesn't expect you to hold him to it and then charge $1 every 10 minutes to keep doing it.
Yeah, and there was a point in the middle of it where Johnny said, because he kept saying how it started was that they had made about $25 in an hour and a half, 2 hours, and Aaron was down. Aaron was having a bad day. He was all up in his grumpy feels, and he was not doing well. And the minute Johnny said that, and he goes, yeah, would you guys give? He always does an experiment on the show about what the show should be.
Big Sauce, where my previous super tip go?
$255.
Anyway, here's some more cash from the block to keep my cool kid club.
Jesus. $255. We've hit the goal.
Right off the bat. Turn off the super tip machine. We don't need any more money. It's over. David Chandler, no more. Come back tomorrow.
Okay, let me move on with the thing, Moody. Jesus Christ. Act like you've been there before. I liked how quickly his mood changed once he realized this gimmick was working. He got Johnny to stand up, and I think Johnny has crutches, hence the name Johnny Crutches. So he was kind of leaning on these crutches. But once he realized this was working, his whole mood shifted. He got this big grin on his face, and it started out with this, like, as long as we get a donation every 2 minutes, Johnny will stay standing. So people were sending in $1 on Rumble, which, if you know, he gets what, 60, 80 cents of that or something like this. And then he eventually moved on to like, okay, I'm going to stand with Johnny, as if that's some sort of feat.
It's mocking him. It's mocking him.
Oh, I didn't even think of it like
Look
that.
at how easy this is for me and both of my legs.
And Johnny doesn't have crutches next to him there. He has a standing desk. So,
I know he has a standing desk, but he had his arms down.
You actually saw?
Yeah, but you would see him shift his weight. I think he was on his crutches. I mean, he kept like...
You don't think he was leaning on the desk?
No, I mean, you could see, right? Like, his arms weren't like up on a... I don't know. I guess it's hard to tell, but he kept shifting from side to side, which made me think he has those like brace crutches that like go around your arm.
Right.
To kind of help you. But we've seen Aaron make fun of this before. We've seen Aaron like talk about how Johnny...
What happened to my Geno super chat, fool? Aaron just came through, bought 2 ounces. Here you go.
It's another $100.
I'm glad she did that, because back to your point, whether he was leaning on the desk or the crutches, what I think we all tapped into is that he was suffering. He was unhappy and getting lower and lower as time went on. No matter how much he said, "Oh, I'm fine. I love this." Ha ha ha. Because as a friend, you say, "Sit down."
Because there was a point where he kept saying, like, we'll keep going until we hit the goal or a donation doesn't come in every 2 minutes. And Johnny had to pipe up and say, or until I can't stand anymore. Because it was like 10 minutes into this where Johnny was starting to go like, okay, I'm getting a little fatigued and we've made $17. People keep sending in $1 and $2. And then Aaron had to put a new rule on it, which he loves to do in the middle of the show, is like, okay, now it has to be $5 or more for Johnny to keep standing. And I never thought about it, but you're right. Maybe when he stood, another thought is he didn't like him getting the attention for standing.
Oh,
so he was like, you know what? I'm going to stand up too. Because I remember back to the anniversary show where they were doing like stand up, or like it was Aaron's time to present to the crowd. And he was getting upset about how long it was taking Johnny to get off the stage with his disability. He kept going like, Johnny, could you hurry up? And like, you're distracting the audience from my performance here, which wasn't even anything planned out or anything. It's not like he does like actual scripted stand up. But he was getting upset. And then he mentioned another gig. They did a private stand-up gig where Johnny took forever to get off the stage. So I think there is this. I think you're right. I think there's like, it's a little bit of
money. It's a crime. Okay. Share it fairly, but don't take a slice of my pie, money. So it said, it's the root of all evil today. But if you ask for a rise, it's no surprise that they're giving none away.
Stop singing and grind that block, fool.
So I think you're right. I think it's a little bit of him like bragging, like, "Hey, I can stand." You think Johnny's a good stander? I can stand, but also a little bit of like, "All right, Johnny, like, don't take too much of the heat off of me." You know what I mean?
He said at that corporate gig that they did together that it bummed everyone out how long it was taking Johnny to get up and up on the stage.
Which
and
is
he's
fun
like,
to mention on stage.
You know what would be great if I had that on my show, and then he made people pay for it.
Well, what I did see is that he liked it when the joke was on Johnny, because there was a way to do that where he's kind of heroic and we're rooting for him. But Aaron made sure, no, we're mocking him with that, shit-eating grin and all those kind of real simple jokes about, disabled people that he was making. There was a different way to go about it. He didn't want it to be that. And I think you're right. When Johnny was getting the attention and it wasn't necessarily a joke on him, he stands up and goes, "Look at me, too."
Speaking of mocking people with a shit-eating grin, Karl is here, everybody. Hi, Karl.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hello. Oh, thank God. It's been so awkward the whole time when your two best friends meet and they don't know what to do with each other. We've just been waiting for you to show up the whole time.
I know. I'm the mutual friend that makes it comfortable for everyone.
So how do you know Karl? Jesus.
I heard him yelling down the block one day.
He's smiling. You could hear that smile.
Karl, did you enjoy the display of MS suffering that we all had to watch this week?
I agree with everything that Adam was saying about humiliating his friend, and I think he enjoys that. But you guys got to talk about these jumping jacks. These are the
boxing radio. SP made me ban all the haters. I have lost my mind. I'm farting in bathtubs and trying to eat the bubble.
Okay, can I comment real quick about Rod God doing this? He started at 255, went to 150, and now what was that one? 10?
15.
Are you running out of money? Are you running out of money? I'm challenging him. Sorry, go ahead, Karl.
The jumping jacks were so embarrassing. It was humiliating what he was doing. And then you could tell he could feel it, because afterwards he's like, now the haters are going to act like that was lame and we're gay, but we're just having a good time. We're just having fun over here.
He could be sucking a guy's dick and be like, look, the haters are going to act like this is gay.
Moody's going to freak out in the Discord now.
Yes. What did he mention you about, Moody? Do you remember?
Oh, right. So last week we were talking about this donation that he made to the Veterans Association.
Ask Melton.
Right, God showed you. So last week we were talking about the Veterans Association. So Steel Toe fundraised money for the veterans back in 2016, Disabled Veterans Association, the DVA. He fundraised $2,222. And he's shown no proof in the last 9 years that that money was ever donated to the charity.
Oh,
Usually,
9 years, because I've been saying 4. I thought this was
this is 2016. So
this GoFundMe has been up for 9 years.
Correct. Longer than like two of his children. Only one of his children is older than this GoFundMe. So he fundraised $2,222. And it's been long suspected maybe something funny went on there, but no one could definitively say anything because there's been no proof. Usually when there's a fundraiser on the internet, people will post proof that, hey, here's a receipt. I donated the money. Well done, everyone. Thank you so much for helping make this charity drive happen. And everyone celebrates, and it's all above board. Aaron thought that I don't need to do that. People trust me. And he went and donated the money himself, supposedly. So we spoke to the DVA and we asked them, do you have, so someone reached out to them previously and said, do you have any donations in 2016 that match this amount of money from either Aaron Imholte or Steel Toe or April Imholte?
Yeah.
But this is before April. So yeah. Anyway, they said, no, we haven't been able to find any donations like that. And these are, you can see them on the Steel Toe Boring Show subreddit. So it was long suspected that he pocketed the money until this.
Especially since we brought it up and he immediately went and took the GoFundMe down days later.
Right.
He brought it on this show and then he took the GoFundMe down. And when he was asked about it on his show, he said, I could dig out those receipts, but who cares? It's like when you're accused of stealing, much less stealing from a charity, much less a veterans charity. This is like a trifecta of you better prove, you cross over stolen valor with just taking advantage of people.
Right.
You would think you would want to prove that. So we thought we got him on this. Right. It turns out we may not have.
Well, yeah. So we talked to the disabled DAV, the disabled.
Doesn't matter.
Disabled veterans
in Minnesota that are disabled.
Right. And so they said that they could find a $2,000 donation from Tri-County Broadcasting in 2016, July of 2016. So this is the, I'll share it on here. So this is.
Hey, Karl, welcome to the show. Why does Moody sound like he's a slow? Moody, let's talk. Come over and get yourself some of this rancid clam sauce.
Ugh. Jesus. Ugh. So this is what we were able to find. So the donation supposedly was made under Tri-County Broadcasting, which is the radio show that the company he was part of. But this is for $2,000 made by them. I assume that this is the same fundraising drive. He hasn't shown any proof.
Yeah, we don't have any proof that this is the money Aaron collected from that fundraiser, but this is his company giving $2,000. But it also begs the question, where's the other $222? Because what I said on my show is, if you raise $2,222 for a charity, most people doing a charity or hosting a charity or putting on this GoFundMe would do a thing like, I'm going to match every dollar.
No. There's a processing fee. There's shipping and handling. This takes a lot of time to give to charity. You got to take got to wet your beak, No, again, like, wouldn't you round it up to 2,500 or something?
No, what are we doing? And Moody calculated, because he's autistic, he calculated the processing fees. So this
GoFundMe, just so everyone knows, GoFundMe takes 2.9% of whatever's fundraised plus 30 cents for each donation. So this will come out to about $60 to $70 on 2,222. So there's a missing $150 from this. So
it's odd that you would raise money through a GoFundMe and then give such a rounded off number to the charity. It would never work out that way. You'd get exactly $2,000.
On the original GoFundMe, which he's taken down, it says every dime we raise will go to this charity. That's a line. It's word for word. Every dime we raise. But where are the rest of the dimes? Show us the dimes, Aaron. Show us the dimes.
Also, can I just say how dumb that is? I didn't realize GoFundMe took a percentage of it. I realize it's not a large percentage. But wouldn't you just tell people to donate directly to the charity then? So now it's going through a middleman that's taking some money and then you give it to the charity?
There's
Aaron takes money. It's like he's like, we keep 97.1% of that.
And sometimes it's nice to sometimes do a fundraising thing as a team. So people might say we're the steel toe people coming together to raise funds for this. I don't have anything against that sort of thing. It's great that they do that, but there's something fishy going on here.
A complete breakdown of like, okay, these were the processing fees. And again, anyone with a heart is rounding that up so you don't look like an asshole. Like, so, I don't like you don't want it in question that you pocketed $1. So
right.
Do you believe that Aaron didn't make any contribution to this? And literally kept $100?
He's acting like it's a big get or it's a big own on his haters who suggested that he didn't donate this money because we found this $2,000 donation. But some of it's
Moody. Hold on a second. It was more than just a epiphany that he had. It ruined us. I don't even think we're doing this show for an audience anymore.
Totally.
He totally, and then he finally showed Discord for the first time ever to prove how dumb you are, except for what he showed was you weren't seething. You were admitting that you found something that maybe showed he was correct.
Also, we don't need to lie about anything.
The troll that's sending him the screenshots from our Discord has to block several people before he gets the screenshot because there's so much other stuff about him that he doesn't want. He doesn't
that's
want
fine. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I just don't know. So in his mind, even if this is owning the hate, I don't think it is, but even if it is owning the haters, why would you drag your reputation through the mud and be reasonably accused of pocketing charity money in order to own the haters? Like, that's going out of your way to receive an accusation that you don't need.
It's funny that you had to prove him not lying. He couldn't come out and do that. You had to do it, and then he dunked on you for proving he wasn't lying.
Even though it seems like he may have pocketed some of this money anyway.
It's petty. Like, it's even worse because it's not he pocketed all the money. He took $150 by the looks of it, which is nothing. Like, why would you risk your reputation for $150? It's such a petty amount.
A lot of charities won't let you donate anything that's not in increments of 1,000, I've heard. Like, they won't take it. Like, one time I tried to give a Salvation Army Santa a $10 bill. And he was like, it's got to be 1,000. You know?
Okay, I was wondering where you were going with that. I'm like, what charity doesn't take money?
We don't really.
We only accept donations in one significant figure. Like, you can't have more than one number in there.
Yeah. But would it be coming from the corporation for who he worked? Because now that's some more bureaucracy and processing and everything else.
Yes, that's strange because he set up the GoFundMe as Aaron Imholte, yet the donation came from Tri-County Broadcasting, which means
now you're getting your accounting department involved. Now you have you have accounts receivable, accounts payable. It's a whole thing.
Imagine him doing this where he's like, because we know that he used to sell ads. He didn't like have a straight up radio deal. He had to sell advertising to get his spot on the radio.
And his show happens between the ads.
I was wondering if it's some sort of like trade where he was like, instead of paying me this month, why don't you guys donate $2,000? Because like you said, like him handing them money and then them giving it over, like it just makes an accounting nightmare for everybody. But I can see him going, you donate, instead of paying me $2,000 for ads I sold, donate $2,000 to that, and I'll just keep this. That's money, and it'll be even. Yeah, I mean, but like everything he does is convoluted.
Yeah,
because Tri-County Broadcasting did do multiple drives for the DAV, so this isn't even evidence that it is from Aaron. We don't know, so it could be from anywhere. It just looks like it's the closest number that we could find to the 2,222.
I remember when Stuttering John was bragging about donating to all these Democratic candidates. And when you donate to a Democratic candidate, you can just donate directly, or it asks you if you also want to go through Act Blue. Act Blue doesn't cost anything, but it keeps a record, public record of all of your donations. If you go direct to the campaign, you don't always get, you get a personal receipt, but it's not listed there. So when John made that claim, everyone was like, well, your Act Blue account is empty or it doesn't have anything. And he's like, well, I didn't go through that. Of course, I just went direct to the campaign. So the point is, why did these guys, whenever they're bragging about money they've raised, never go through the proper channels? They want to brag about it, but go out of their way to not have the receipts to prove it to everybody. I would say because they're live.
When it matters. When it
This
matters.
is interesting.
Like,
Sweaty Tryhard in the chat has an interesting point. Is it possible that Tri-County matched the $2,000? Like they had an agreement, like, okay, you raised that, we'll match it. So they gave that $2,000 just out of
independently.
Yes,
Could be.
interesting.
Could be.
But again,
You know what?
Aaron
You know
would
what?
show any receipts or emails with the company. Like this could be proven so easily.
It's so
Right.
easy to do.
And it's like we say with Chad, Aaron's the same way. Like if there is proof, they show proof. If there's proof, they can't help but show
Which is
it.
why he finally showed a Discord screenshot.
Same with John. It's like these people have proof so often and they lie so often that when they are telling the truth and they do have proof, they show it. They always show it. Multiple times they'll show it on camera. No, you don't believe a cop was here? Here's a business card. Like Chad does that all the time. But then, 9 out of 10 police times he says the police were there or he got swatted or there's
John
no
brought
proof.
the letter from Chad to the gig. He brought the letter.
Right. This is what I'm saying. Like, especially if it's like they're being made out to be a victim. Like they love to show proof.
Yep.
So that's interesting, Karl, that they might have matched it. Because like I said, that's what people do. When you're if I'm raising money for March of Dimes, where are the dimes? Like you match it or you round it up or
you match it up to a certain amount. $2,000.
Right.
We'll match it up to $2,000.
Right.
We hit 2,000.
Right.
Great. Here it is. Send in the check.
Like your company's 401k.
Right.
Like, yeah.
But to date, just to be clear, there's been no donation from Aaron Imholte or Steel Toe to the DAV in 2016. So this is like, if we're being generous, we're saying this is from Aaron.
Yeah.
Which means there's $222 missing. That's 10% of what you raised. The GoFundMe fees are 3%. So
we have so much real stuff on Aaron Imholte. You got to give him the benefit of the doubt. But it's interesting that even when pressed, he wouldn't try to prove it or show.
And there's still $150 missing. Like, where is that? He hasn't accounted for that at all. And
Dude,
I've tried my best. I'll show you everything that we find. Like, I'm happy to be proved wrong about something. I don't need to lie about Aaron. I've showed you everything. I can't find any more. So, I mean, beyond this, people can reasonably say that that $150 is missing.
Tell him when he's telling lies. He's put us in our place multiple times over the past year. We've been wrong about everything. He's been right. So just another L for this little piggy and all the Aaron haters. This is my favorite. Sorry, go ahead, Karl.
Well, I wanted to get into what he was saying about NLO when you were sniping him on Wednesday morning, but go ahead. You could.
Oh, go ahead. I don't even know what he.
We were playing this on WATP when Adam was on Wednesday, but the chatter in there who's like actual Steel Toe fan. I forget what the chatter's name is, but it's very funny.
Right?
Actual Steel Toe wearer.
Okay.
Right?
No, it's like legit Steel Toe fan or something like that, something silly. And they go, hey, just so you know, NLO is sniper. He said someone's sniping this and they have 400 compared to your 300 live viewers. And Aaron got real excited. He goes, actually, we have 700 and they only have 400. It's over. We beat them. It's a done deal. Even though all you're doing is sniping a stream. You're not even commenting on it or anything. People are in there because
literally on my sofa downstairs. I wasn't even in the studio. Like we were just literally replaying his stream.
And I'm watching through you, obviously, and reading the chat. And it's hilarious what everybody's saying about him. And he counts that as a W, that there's 400 people watching him through your channel clowning him while he's doing his show.
Well, my fans had sent me his goal in the first 30 minutes of the show. They like gave me money through super chats and stuff. And I tallied it up and we hit his goal while he was still $25 in. And then hours later, after the whole Johnny standing and everything, after all that went and he finally hit his goal with 10 minutes left of the show in overtime, by the way, that's when he finally knocked it out. Because he got down to, I don't know if you remember, he was like, we're 14.20 away from the goal. He said at one point, we're $1.60 away from the goal. This is how granular he's getting in his fundraising now.
He doesn't round things when he's sent it to charity. He rounds it off when he's looking at his goal.
The subway costs more to ride. And he needs $1.60 and he's counting cents. And then the minute he hit it, he goes, oh, they're going to hate that over there that we won again. And it's just like, he's in such a weird bubble. I have to believe that he's going mentally ill when he's not on this program, because there's no way he believes he's winning as much as he says he does. Like, it's insane. First of all, it's not even a contest. He has to frame everything into this competition framework. But like, because he does that, and because I know he's not retarded, he has to be going mentally ill off the program, because you're not winning anything by any metric you want to measure it in. He's doing this thing now where he adds subscribers across multiple platforms. He's like, we're about to hit 20,000. That's going to be it's like, and
I think sometimes when you have like a big, a real embarrassing humiliation or a traumatic one, you live in fear of it so badly that anything in life that's not as bad as that is in fact a win for the toe, because it wasn't that. You know what I mean?
Right. Like his felony thing. Like if he gets his felony off the thing and it's just a gross misdemeanor where he has to plead guilty to a sex crime, and he gets a suspended jail sentence. Like, he's on a suspended jail sentence now. Let's not forget. But it's all, at least I'm not in jail. So it's a win.
Isn't it interesting? He's had so many wins. He's been talking about this a lot. Like, he just keeps winning. He can't stop winning. Everyone else is taking all these L's. And then he's made zero progress. The show's not better. There's fewer people watching it. It's harder and harder to hit the goal. He goes down to one co-host who can barely get onto the show anymore.
A co-host.
Yeah, right. So he's a torso of a co-host is what he's down to.
Why, people who get mad that we like associate with Nick or talk to Nick or treat Nick like a human being, I haven't seen Nick doubling down on what he did and not admitting what he did was fucked up or wrong or inappropriate. He has said that. I've heard him say those things. I've heard him show contrition for things that have happened. You can argue like, oh, well, he's a piece of shit for putting himself in those positions anyway. Sure. Aaron Imholte has had no personal growth, and as a matter of fact, has slid down a morality hill since this all went down, and never, ever, ever shows any remorse. He still hasn't acknowledged Kayla is a victim in this sharing of her images and stuff. He just keeps like, it's bullshit and I'm almost clear of it, and the haters hate that I'm getting away with this. And it's just like, how about the woman that you harmed? Like, what about that you claim to be in love with at one point?
Speaking of that, can you just share what I just shared? This is from this last week. He gets a chat. I saw this on the Pretty Antisocial podcast, covered it, but this is insane. Like, he still hasn't signed his deal yet. And this is for sure going to be played at sentencing.
Gregory. Bo Beardington with 199 says, rather have cases fully dismissed or Twins win the World Series. Oh, Twins win the World Series, 100%. What they're asking from me, I mean, that's fine with me.
It's just a waiting game.
Yeah,
Like,
I'll take the Twins winning the World Series all day, every day. Yeah. 205.
That's being played at sentencing for sure.
He's gotten real quiet about this plea deal, though. He was really bragging about it the weekend it happened. He said, I was on the phone with my family for hours. We're so happy. It's gotten real zipped up and quiet. And again, I thought we were just dotting some I's and crossing T's. This reminds me of the boxing, the safe sport stuff. It's like, this is all nothing. We're going to have this sewn up soon. It's like, I'm seeing rage in Adam's eyes. Do you want to expound on that a little bit?
Oh no, I got my own personal things going on. No, it's endless with this guy. He's going out of his way to communicate that he has learned nothing from this experience.
Right.
He really wants us all to know that. And that's just not the move to make in any way. It's really not. And you could pick a random moment and it would be embarrassing in that court. And if you could just pull up that still picture you just had of them, both of them, if you knew nothing about these people, right, and you were to ask, who's the good guys and who's the bad guys? Or just, are these the good guys or the bad guys? You'd be like, oh, those are evil supervillains. Like, that's what that is. There's his hunched over, assistant, and there's this guy just, staring at the camera, unable to learn anything.
He's just missing that mustache.
Yeah, it's so over the
Nightly
top.
whiplash.
And they don't see that at all.
This is stupid. It's idiotic. Even if you're getting a sweetheart deal or anything like that, you shut up until after the judge has sentenced you.
Yep.
Because this is going to be played, and the sentence, it's up to the judge how much punishment that you get. So if they play a clip of you saying what they're asking for, I'd rather this other team that I don't even care about win the World Series. It's like,
Okay, granted.
okay, all right, that is the bar. All right, let's raise it until you actually feel some consequences for your
Karl
actions.
said it the other day on WATP. He mentioned this, and I can't unsee it now whenever I watch Aaron. He said Aaron is obsessed with just talking about numbers. He loves to just bring them up, and I realize it's because it makes him feel like he's doing something. Like it's not just talking about himself. Like, I have a job and a purpose. I'm keeping track of this. Like, this is a real news show. He pulled up that chat that I don't think was for money, that completely set him up to brag about his crimes, which he completely took the bait, and then he got rid of it. But he has this air of like he's not in charge of it. Like there are these other corporate bosses that are like putting up the chat, and he's got to deal with it and then move on.
I think a lot of that is like him poising himself to get back onto radio. He loves mentioning these metrics. He started doing these ad reads on Rumble Studio, where he gets into real serious radio man stuff. So much so that he did like a fake radio voice and mocked one of them, and they didn't pay him for the ad read because they were like, well, this is you being stupid. And then he went onto his Toe Boys group on Facebook and said, you guys made me do that voice. You guys made me not get paid for that ad. And we've seen there's like $13 that he's getting paid for these ads. And he's like, so just donate and we'll be even. Like, he uses everything as an opportunity to blame anyone but himself and ask for money.
To touch on Adam's point and also what you're talking about, so that 30 minutes that Johnny was uncomfortable and standing, he thought that was the best his show has ever been because money was coming in. And to him, if money's coming in, he was having the time of his life. If money's coming in, he's doing a good show, even though he did nothing, literally nothing for 30 minutes.
What's wild is during that 30 minutes, that was the show. It's like, look at Johnny standing. Will there be more money? Look at Johnny standing. Will there be more money? Imagine that on radio. 30 minutes of that, of no content whatsoever.
But the content was, he was talking about dollar amounts and time. And so everything was, all right, we got a minute 30 and we need $3 more. And then in 22 seconds, we're going to have a countdown to do a...
He's even not good at that. He wasn't using his phone, which he's always got in his hand, by the way, on this pro show, to start a timer. He would like yell out a timestamp and then get confused. Oh, what were we at? We were at 2 hours 43:10, or where were we at? It's like, get a timer. God forbid, put it on the screen and make it, gamify it, make it engaging for anybody. There's no effort. We even saw him do this last week where he put up the different names on the screen and you could donate to either one. Who's going to win, guys, red or blue? He's already given up on that. Everything he tries is like a one-day only thing. Like
the way the whole Johnny thing was framed was as a punishment or consequence for Johnny. It's like, this is coming in, Johnny, you got to keep extending the time. Like, if you want, you could do the Johnny stands for something bit, but you need to make it so that by Johnny standing, he is persevering and achieving something. So it's like,
the butt of the joke.
For every dollar, for every minute he stays standing, I gift 1 membership or 2 memberships to the chat, or we raise this money for charity. And at that point, people are cheering and supporting Johnny for continuing to stand. Meanwhile, he turned it into a perverted thing where it's like, let's punish this cripple.
He doesn't even have the creativity to make it entertaining. Like, okay, you don't want to give back. It is a fundraiser for the show. Fine. But if you remember, this whole thing stemmed from Cory Booker's filibuster that they were watching earlier in the program. And it's like, okay, so Johnny has to talk. Johnny has to filibuster or until the money stops coming in. Like, make it what it is. They're not even doing that. They're just like,
but he did have that joke. He did that joke, though, Philip Booker, that he said 3 times in a row and didn't get a reaction for. That was pretty good.
And he did make him talk when he was standing. He was away from the mic, and he was like, you carry this while you're standing. You keep talking and use all your air for that. I think what we're all tapping into here, because we're all saying the same thing, I think, and Chad and John and Opie and Aaron, they all share it. They had that dream gig, and they got lost in it. And that was the best time of their lives, when everything was buzzing at them and they could completely lose themselves, and there was a million people and decisions to be made and commercials, and that was when they were firing at all cylinders, and they've never been fully utilized again. That's it. So they try and recreate those moments where the clock is ticking, and Opie always defaults to that, 10 before the hour and news coming up, and they all want that. Chad does it too. They want to be back there. So anything that feels even the slightest bit like that, they just push and push and push and it's happening. And they care about that more than any other relationship in their life.
I say that all the time, and you mentioned it too with Donkey Lips having a little more self-awareness than these guys. They all also, a component of it is they all lucked into those jobs. They lucked into a radio job. They lucked into the Howard Stern thing. Aaron the same way. He wasn't a real radio man. He made a deal to sell ads for this stuff. And like you said, anything that's a semblance of what it used to be. It's why he named his board the WHMH 101.7 leaderboard. It's why he wakes up at 6 a.m. to do a show. There's no reason to wake up at 6 a.m. to do a show. It's muscle memory. It's Chad Zumach. He only opens for Nick Swartzen now. Florentine and Godfrey are gone. We don't even count that anymore. They're gone. They haven't worked this guy in a year. So it's like, I don't know what I am if I don't keep telling people I'm a stand-up comic. I don't know what I am if I'm not a radio guy. You're right. They have to cling on to these little touchstones of memories that keep them in that headspace, or else they will have to admit they're adrift and rudderless in this as a career, as a person.
It is interesting because there is also a parallel, because Adam, you mark off the same prerequisites that they have, where it's like you've got the biggest gig that you've had is like in the past, like quite a few years ago.
Where are we going with this?
And now you're on WATP. So
should I tell him to fuck off, or do you want to? Adam?
Right.
Please, Karl. No. Go on.
Fuck me. Right. But seriously, there's you're saying that these people's biggest achievements are in the past, and the lol counters comes from them hanging on to that and not being able to let go. How did you not go down that same path? Did you make a conscious decision, or is it a normal thing that people go down to not have to go through that?
Well, how about this? First of all, go fuck yourself. Second of all,
fair enough.
I think it's what Melton was just saying, that they lucked into this job, and instead of being like, how lucky am I? I better fly right, do a good job, and shut the fuck up. They went, I knew it. I knew I was a superhero and everything was coming to me, and then they just relaxed. You know,
took it for granted. You're right.
I was never a celebrity. I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be an artist, and that's what I focus on. And as long as I'm still doing that, I'm happy. And I'm lucky enough that I can work in television. I can do things like this that I like, and they make me happy. I do what I enjoy, and because I've been doing it since I was so young, similar to John, I can have longevity. When you're a character actor, when you can do a bunch of different things, when you've been consistent at it. John jumped every ship he had, burned every bridge. I'm willing to take smaller gigs. Just because I was a series regular doesn't mean I have to be one on every gig. I just like working. There are shitty TV gigs, and there are awesome podcast gigs, and there are awesome TV gigs and shitty podcasts. And it's just however I choose to spend my day, and I'm lucky enough that I get that freedom.
I think the mindset you're talking about is what keeps doors open as well. I think if you asked Anthony Cumia a year ago, or even a few months ago, if he'd ever be back on radio again, he'd be like, no. But because you keep doing what you enjoy, and because you don't get lost in obsession with that, whatever's happened to Opie, where he's like, I could never work for that. I could never do that. No, I need this. And it's like, okay, what you've done is alienate yourself from not only everybody in the industry, but all your personal relationships as well. And you spiral into this bitterness vortex that he's not able to take stock and be happy of the things he's achieved and has. Again, he has a family. He has children. He has millions of dollars. He has gorgeous properties. He lives in the greatest city on earth, and he's never able to sit in it and enjoy it. It's constant discontent, I guess is what I would call it. And you heard him talk about it this week, where he said, I got 5 or 6 more years before I burn through my my money. So anything could happen. And it's like the fact that you think that you're going to get another pop like Opie and Anthony soon is insane. It's like, be able to just appreciate what you had and be like, hey, that was a once in a lifetime moonshot and I did it. And
here's what they all have in common. None of them like their job. None of them like radio. Kuya likes radio. Comics like other comics, so they just like working with each other. If you find someone is funny, you're not like, let me see if you're famous or not. You're like, they're funny, I'll go on their show. You work with younger people. Opie has watched Tukey and Cardiff and OJ eclipse him in every single way, and his killer comedic instincts worked with them and said, yep, they're going nowhere.
Right. I was listening to a 2009 show where Opie and Anthony got in a fight on YouTube last night because Anthony was eating some grapes and Opie started going in on him.
Don't go there. You don't want to go there.
Yogurt. Yeah, the don't go there, don't go there. And there's a point in that argument that's so funny now looking back because Opie says the words, I could quit this tomorrow and go do something else. And Anthony literally said, no, you couldn't. And I went, oh shit. Because that's exactly what happened. He fizzled out. You could argue like Anthony kind of pulled a Seinfeld. Maybe it wasn't his choice, but he went out on top. He exited the Opie and Anthony show while it was at one of its heights of popularity. Maybe not the height, but it was still up there and people enjoyed it. Opie fizzled out and got fired. And Anthony was right. He can't do anything else. And that blew my mind. I had to go back and listen to it again because Opie was just bragging like, I could go do anything tomorrow. I could go do this. I could go do that. And Anthony just went, no, you couldn't. Because we knew him so well. I really love that.
One of the things that we've all picked up on and we all felt it very deeply. It's when every one of these people, especially Aaron, that we've talked about, had the greatest time they've had in years when they didn't have to do their show.
Right. You're right.
Every one of them was like, this was
Aaron
the
even
best
said
week
this
ever.
week, SP told me I should have stayed in bed today. Like, this is not a good one. All right, I got to play this. I've been trying to play it for 30 minutes, but we're having so much fun. This is one of my favorite clips. It's from Stalin 19 this week. This is called Studio, Camera, and Giving Back. So we're in this, we get this cycle every year. I've been watching him for 3 years. This is the time of year where he plans his anniversary show.
Oh, see, you have been watching for 3 years. Uh-huh.
It's all this play. Well, this is the third spring. So like,
it's 2 years and a bit now.
He's got ideas about what to do with his camera and his studio. And this is telling in so many ways. Let's watch.
You know, I mean it. I was shopping for the new camera yesterday, and I bought this as the new camera a couple of years ago, and oh man, this thing's gonna be tits. I spent 30 seconds reading about it on Amazon. This thing will be great, and I picked a camera that sucks.
There's nothing wrong with this camera. We should say that it's a 1080p camera. I have a 4K camera, but I run it in 1080p and I broadcast in 1080p. 1080p is plenty for anyone. It's not. Sometimes I'm streaming stuff from a friend's Plex server and I'll put it on 480 because it's not streaming correctly because the guy lives in Europe and I'm streaming stuff. I can still enjoy a film.
We're ugly talking heads. We don't need 4K. No one's asking for that.
Right. So this.
Do you want to see the monkeypox on Patrick's face in 4K? I don't.
Yes. I'm having him 3D modeled. But like, the fact that he thinks that's the thing he needs to improve on his show is the camera. But B, he also, we've seen him. He has his camera set up and it ingests a 4:3 aspect ratio image. He doesn't have the resolution set correctly on the camera. So he stretches it, and that's why it's all pixelated and garbagey. He thinks it's the camera.
Yeah. There's something that I get asked from time to time with people asking me to help them with tech stuff for their streams and things. They're like, Moody, what should I work on next? What's the thing that I need, the tech thing that I need in order to take my stream to the next level? The order that I give is always audio first. You need good audio. Second is content. You need to be putting out something good. Then lighting, then cameras. Like that's the order. So once you've got audio, because if audio is shit, there's no one can hear or say anything, but content's the next one. And if you don't have that down, if people aren't paying you money or you don't have a successful show with that, then don't bother going
What's
down
he-
lighting and camera.
The problem to him is that people can't read the tonations board, or the goal's not in high enough resolution. Like,
Yeah, they can't read it because your pen is running out of ink again, Aaron. Get a new whiteboard pen.
A decent amount of money on a camera that sucks ass. I need a nice camera that is idiot proof. It can't just be a nice camera. I'm sure if you gave this camera to somebody who knows what they're doing, they could probably make it decent. I need a camera that's retard proof. Because when I've never been.
Okay, can I pause it real quick? So what he just said was, if I had a friend who could come over and show me how to use this thing, I wouldn't need a new camera. But obviously, I don't have a friend because I'm going to go buy a new camera.
Right.
He's gonna go out and he's gonna get a new camera, and a good camera looks like this. This is what you'll end up looking like. Like it's not
That's
gonna
actually
look
better. That is
good.
better.
All right, but like you need like lighting's a really big part of it. Invest in that rather than investing in a camera, and then once you figured out where it's like.
Well, also, if we know Aaron Imholte at all, he 100% is not going to buy a good camera. He's going to find a good camera, go, that's a little pricey, and then he's going to settle on a low-grade, shitty camera. Again, I can almost guarantee you it. There's no way he's going to spend, $500, you can get a good mirrorless camera that shoots 4K. That's great. But again, it's also, do you know how to focus it? Do you know how to ingest it into the computer correctly at the right aspect ratio and resolution? Do you know how to put it in OBS? Do you know how to adjust things like hue, saturation, contrast? Like, this is all part of the problem. But in his mind, it's just, we need a new camera because chat told him he needed a new camera.
Also, hardware is just an easy solution for people. Oh, I just got to buy a new thing. I'll go buy a new thing.
Right.
You have to actually learn how to use. You have to learn how to use your software.
You'd think it was easy, but he's been fundraising for this camera for the last 2 and a bit years. Like, he's been talking about a new camera ever since we first saw him. But he also says he doesn't know enough about the settings in order to make it look good on OBS.
Well, he admits here, like, I could take a course on cameras, but I could just buy a camera that worked.
Yes, I've been in the radio business. So there's one of two things you can do. You can take a little course. You can become better at handling cameras and managing cameras. Or you can get something that's idiot proof. And I think for me, the best case to, the thing that's always done best for this show is when we do shit that's completely idiot proof. So I'm shopping for the camera yesterday. We got our new signage and our new backdrop coming. The only thing is, what am I going to do for the backdrop of the backdrop?
What am I going to do for the backdrop of the backdrop? Now, people have suggested, like, why don't you paint? And he mentioned before, like, dude, what if we have to move? He said we, by the way. There's no one else who lives here.
I'm not painting.
So now he's admitting he's not going to paint.
I bought a DSLR 4K camera for a lot of money, but I have no idea how to turn it on. I'm stuck in control panel. This camera sucks.
Right.
Look, would it be fun to paint? Yeah.
No,
but
painting is not fun.
Want to sell it if I have?
It could be with his kids. Like, you can't make it a fun. He actually did that for one of his kids' birthday. Let him paint their room.
Paint the room, yeah.
But he's also had 2 dents in the drywall behind him for months.
Yeah,
you can see it just under his microphone and to the left of that. He hasn't fixed those. It's been
those
months.
holes have been there forever. One of them for years.
It
but
takes
then the other one's new.
It's a trip to the hardware store in 10 minutes.
Why isn't he embarrassed that he has no vision for his show?
Right.
It's like there's one thing behind me for the next, from my lifetime that everyone's going to see that's going to get me propelled to superstardom, and I have no thoughts. I don't care.
Because he's got
vision if it's blurry.
Yeah, he's got no vision for no vision.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he doesn't understand what he's missing because he doesn't know what makes it good.
Do I want to paint the entire downstairs area? That whole living room over there, that area over there. Like
why would you have to paint that? Why would you have to paint that?
Why would we care?
Just paint the literal 17 square feet that's visible on camera.
Well, the answer is because he just said, what if we want to sell the house? And the answer to that is everybody paints when they buy a new house.
Enough. I am switching to Debian Linux. Wait, what the hell is this terminal I ran? Get app podcast, but it's not working. Stupid penguin.
Sorry, Greg. Because selling the house. Yeah.
He just
So
said,
good.
like, oh, I would paint this wall, but what if we want to sell the house? Like, everybody goes in and paints every room when they buy a new house.
I've boarded
Also
up a window. I put barnwood on a wall. I painted the entire room. I took down the lighting and put up custom lighting. Guess what? You can undo all that. If you believe in yourself, isn't it worth investing in your show?
I did the same here. I laid down these floors. I painted the walls, but also, has he not heard of a feature wall? Like, it's normal to have
It is a
one
thing.
wall that's
Oh,
a
yeah.
different color than
accent
the
wall.
rest of the room. Right.
I got to tell you, I have these exact conversations about cameras and the background and what we're doing with producer Chris and Vinny Paulino, and it's not the show. It would never be my show. It's ridiculous.
Most of the cameras in your studio, if I'm correct, Karl, are iPads.
They're
Are they
iPads.
not?
They're iPads.
And you would never know. Like, because it's just good enough. It's
Fine.
good enough. And
It's
it
just
works.
people sitting there.
But right. But he's convinced that, like, the reason I'm not making money, I need a new camera. I need a
Audio
new
content lighting
backdrop.
cameras. That's if you're into content creation, that's the order. Like, get that down.
Acklick.
You know, when I describe these shows to people, inevitably, it always sounds like, you know, it's just a lot of hate and we're all very mean. And while that might be true, no one ever believes me that we spend the majority of our time giving good, practical advice to these people that if they took would greatly improve their lives and their show.
I say it all the time. I think it's one of the components of a locale. You can literally hand them a roadmap to success, and they will start scribbling on it and drawing on it and rip it up and put their gum in it. It's like, I say it about Chad Zumach. I say it about Opie. It's like, you can tell them literal steps to take to make their show better. And he says it. People have told him, a million people have told him, stop begging for money, stop begging for gold, do a good show. It'll even out. You'll make more some days, less some days, but it'll even out and you'll find out you're fine. He goes, we've tried. That isn't how this show works. It's like, no, that's your OCD. That's your autism not letting go. You have to micromanage, and you see it, how he gets granular with the, like, let's get to this number by this hour. Let's get to this by this. Like, it drives him nuts if he's not hitting these made up milestones that mean nothing.
I have a bad sense of direction. So when I like get off the exit and I have to get back on the freeway, you know, people have a feeling that pulls them like, oh, I should go that way. And I have that, but it's always wrong. I know if I have the feeling to go in a direction that it will be wrong. So I had to train myself to go against that feeling. Exactly. Go the opposite way, and it'll be right. They all have that in common. You could hand them the playbook, and everything tells them inside, don't do it, don't do it, don't. But they have to give over to their feeling and make the wrong choice every time.
And Aaron's the best example because SP's been giving him all this advice, and he just repeats the advice. Instead of doing the advice, he repeats it. He's like, all right, stay positive. Don't let him see you freak out. It's like while he's freaking out.
Yeah, that's not how that works.
Another layer of hilarity.
And then I have like a whole lived-in basement, like a large basement. I don't want to paint the whole fucking thing. So what kind of backdrop can we just kind of put up here that's not like a sheet? No, I know they have installable shit. And I got to start thinking about that. McBuster says it takes an hour to set up and paint, you lazy shit. That's not it. I don't want a mismatched basement. It looks terrible.
Also, paint the whole basement. I'm not even kidding. I've literally done this where you go down to Home Depot and you grab 3 guys who are waiting out there for work and you bring them to your house and you pay them $25 an hour and you have the paint for them and they do it. They know how to do it. It takes them an hour to do it. It's like hiring movers versus moving yourself. You know what I mean? Like your friends will be there all day eating your pizza and break half the stuff. Whereas movers come in and they're out of there in an hour with all your stuff neatly packed up and secured. Literally go to Home Depot and get some of these guys to come to your house and paint. Give them a couple iced teas and give them a good wage. And they'll be so happy to do it, and it'll be knocked out so quickly. He's just like, yeah, but then what about when you want to undo it? You do that again, Aaron. You do that again. Or you leave your basement a different color besides boring beige, because most people probably would prefer that.
Or these paneling, you could put up paneling, just screw that into the
right, Karl.
Into the wall.
He hasn't given up yet.
That's what I'm talking about.
I have no image of an artist, like any artist, any musician, anybody you like. You have these visions of them being difficult, or you see them like micromanaging every detail, every thing. There's no image of any artist you like being like, I don't care, do whatever the fuck you want. What do you guys want to do? I'm gonna start thinking about this soon.
Right.
I'm gonna have to start thinking about this soon. Like that's just not. Yeah.
You can go on Craigslist and find an artist and say, come do a mural. Come do it. Come do something. They would love a canvas that's going to be seen by people. Throw them a couple $100. Like they'd be happier than you can imagine. There's no creativity, and it's like the camera thing. It's not an impetus to actually improve the program. It's just like, what's something I can do? And it's almost like he values the content of talking about it more.
Yes.
Like once he gets the camera, he's going to be upset because like, well, now we can't talk about getting the camera.
You're right.
Dude, you literally, if he would just watch the last 20 minutes, you literally just saved him hundreds of dollars by saying, learn how to set your camera to 16:9 aspect ratio. Your camera's fine. And hire a couple people to paint a mural, and it'll look better than anything you could ever do. And he's saving money with that. Just those two things.
He'll never do it.
We'll put something up, but this new sign we've got coming is amazing. Like, it's really nice.
Can't wait.
The first,
he's had a listener working on a new sign for months, and he keeps teasing it. He's like, it's gonna be.
the person who made it has done an incredible job, and they've been sending me updates on it. And it is, from the pictures I've been seeing, it's 100% worth the wait. But I got all this shit that's gonna have to come down, like a bunch of shit that's gonna have to come down.
By the way, there's two things hung on the wall. And then a stack of toys.
We can take care of this in half an hour.
You don't have a lot of shit. Literally, you can go supermarket sweep on this and just knock it off the shelf.
I've got a prediction of what happens with this sign. So this sign comes.
It's going to be too big.
It's going to be too big. So he's going to put it behind him, and then he's going to have to tilt the camera up. And so he's going to look like this on the screen with so he could get the sign in behind him. Yeah,
he's
the headroom's going to be
so much headroom because he's got to put the sign in, because how else would you know what show it is?
Right.
It's like me. It drives me nuts that the whole Onion logo that I built behind me is not in frame. How are they going to know? It's like, no, people, he has no aesthetic sense. I think that's what you're trying to say.
And I've been looking at the cameras and everything, and I'm not gonna do the camera until the sign gets here. I want to do it all at once, right? Spend one weekend doing it, make it look perfect.
And it's this weekend.
So he's basically gonna like rush out and get whatever cameras in stock instead of like ordering the right
you know
one.
What? This is actually interesting, because this is what shows you why his show is what it is. He is against making gradual improvements. Everything that we've been talking about, like stop doing this, start doing that. Gradual things that overall you go back, you look 6 months later, 12 months later, you go, oh, my show's a lot better now than it was. His thought is, nope, I have to make everything perfect or else I'm not doing anything.
Perfect is the enemy of good.
Correct.
Yeah.
This is also a kid who didn't do the project, explaining to his parents how what seems like no plan is actually a very, very, well thought out.
I'm not going to make the due date, Mom, but it's going to be amazing.
What's going to happen is everything's going to show up at one day, and I just want to do it all in like a, drug-fueled fury. That's my plan, Mom. Yeah. I've been planning that for months.
It's such a dangerous spot to get yourself into, because it paralyzes you, because you're thinking of the potential of how amazing everything's going to be once you've got everything in order, that you won't ever start on making things better because it won't be perfect right from the get-go. The strange thing in this situation is he's already got a show, which he's doing, which by his admission is not perfect. So he could work on incremental changes, just focus on doing one thing better every time you hit go live. But he's like, no, we're keeping this show as shitty as it is for as long as possible until I make it instantly better.
Let's also not forget, we live in a world where literally you could green screen anything back there that you wanted instantly. Like you could have a new sign. You could have new paint on the wall. You could do anything you want. Yeah.
You could. He could. Like, he bought a green screen and couldn't work out that you needed good lighting. You needed backlighting on a green screen so that you can chroma key yourself out from there. He didn't know that.
You don't need it anymore with modern graphics cards. They can just do it.
Does he have a modern graphics card? He doesn't have a modern graphics card. He has a $500, so a 500 gigabyte, like not SSD.
So Karl, to your point, this is about what he's about to say now about how he doesn't like to make incremental changes. He's got to do it all at once because he knows him.
Opportunity, if I want to move anywhere else, I could move somewhere else. I've even thought about, and this is too much, and I'm not going to end up doing this, but I've even thought about insulating the far wall of the garage. The rest of the garage is insulated. Insulating the far wall of the garage in the third stall and putting in some heat and moving the whole thing out there. And I think that would be kind of fun. So I've given everything a lot of thought. It's just that in the winter, that sounds like horse shit.
Yeah, well, what is that a solution to? So he's trying to find a solution without a problem.
Anything
thought
but
about moving to somewhere else. It's like, dude, all you do is sit in front of a camera and you play clips. What do you mean? We don't have to do any of these things. Who cares?
Right. He's never gonna get to the stuff because on his channel page, he still hasn't changed the banner on that, and that is easier than painting a wall.
It has the wrong show days and times, and this was called out in 2023.
Wow.
And April said, "I'll change it," and he said, "You can't. You got to have my password." And it's never been updated.
So if he's not uploading a JPEG, is he gonna paint a wall? I don't think so.
Oh, look, here's another sponsor mention.
Urban Concrete. And they could put a nice surface. I mean, the surface of my garage is fine now, but they can put a nice heat-friendly surface in there and the whole deal. It's
is concrete not a heat-friendly surface? He's fantasizing about moving to the garage, insulating it, and getting a heat-friendly floor. What's going on? These are problems nobody has.
It's not just a fantasy, it's a full-on hallucination. Like, he's talking to producers and staff members and looking them in the eye and like responding to them and reacting as if they are supporting what he's saying. They're not there, Aaron. It's just you.
What's happening here is he's constantly saying that, look, all my troubles are wrapping up. All this legal stuff is coming to an end. Look, I believe him to a certain extent. We're near the end of that. I mean, the worst hasn't come yet, but we're near the end of that. And so he needs to invent new reasons as to why he's not as great as he could be. So the bigger he makes that cliff between where his show currently is and where it needs to be, then the more he can blame on why the show is not as great as it actually could be.
Because he hasn't made any actual personal growth, he needs to have some outward visual representation of turning a page, because he's done nothing internally and morally to actually turn a page. So he wants to signify that to his viewers, like, new camera, we've moved on. It's like, okay, new concrete floors.
Look, I've got a new camera, but I don't have a capture card. Turns out you need a capture card for these good cameras. And then after that, it's going to be, the lighting's not good because the camera requires you to have a professional lighting rig. So we can't put the new camera. Like, it's always going to have something else.
The camera's up on the counter. You're right. The camera will just sit on the counter or the table, and he'll show it on stream. I got the new camera. It's like, okay.
Thinking about it a lot because we've been doing all this stuff, and the reason we've been able to do all this stuff is because for the last 8 weeks the audience has been crushing these goals and the show's been doing incredibly well, and it's at a point now where it's like, well,
let's get back to talking about the goal. For a minute there we got off the goal. It got weird. I was uncomfortable. Let's get back to it.
You asshole. Put something into it. So the camera, the sign, and then, because I know once the camera and sign get here and that gets taken care of, I'm not going to want to do anything. I'm going to want to sit down here. I'm going to want to do the show. And I'm like, okay, sit back. Like, all of it will need to get done at once because I know me. But I was like, this audience has been kicking it in the ass for you so hard these last few months.
They deserve a new camera. Is that what he's saying?
None of it makes sense.
Been doing so well.
I thought he was breaking even, guys. Hasn't he talked about how he's like
only takes what he needs?
Yeah, it's like right there. And now he's talking about how he's like flush with profits and he needs to reinvest the money.
Yeah, there was another moment this week where he kept talking about how it would be cheating, but last Friday they really crushed the goal. like Rumble Friday. This was while we were on, but he said, we really crushed the goal last Friday, but it would be cheating to say the streak is still alive because that's not how it works. Everybody knows the rules. Meanwhile, nobody knows the rules.
No, you change the rules all the time.
The streak died before Safe Sport got back to him. That's Safe Sport, 48 hours. Guys, not a hassle. All that for a drop of blood.
Mm-hmm.
It's still going longer than the streak.
He also told people that I was buying views.
Oh, gosh. I got a list of lies that he said on a recent program.
Because Chad said I was buying views. But then there was this clip on Reddit where he said this.
Oh, he's on MLC. Man, when I saw that MLC and Melton were, because I don't usually watch any of these numbers, but somebody accused.
He's not a numbers guy.
Right. Melton buying views. A couple people were doing that. I don't fucking know. Sounds good, so I'll just go with it. I don't care. But
well, this was days after he told everybody I was buying views.
Yep.
And now he's just like, well, it sounded good, so I just went with it. What are we?
But he said it out loud. He said it so we could hear it. I thought he was supposed to be some kind of newsman or reporter or broadcaster.
So,
who says that to their staff? Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm just going with it.
Right.
So movie logic in this case dictates that is a win for Patrick because Aaron got that one wrong.
Yes.
But also, like, Aaron, to your point, as the audience, do you ever believe anything this guy says ever again? If he just goes, yeah, I went with it because I wanted it to be true. Like, oh, well, is that how you always interpret information?
I don't know what it is he wants to go back to doing. Once he's finally free from all of this, what is the show he's then finally unleashed to go do? What is he going to talk about?
That's why he needs radio. He needs management. He needs a GM. He needs someone to, like, give him a direction. Like, this is what you need to be doing. He needs those meetings. He hasn't sat down with a program director in 5 years to sit there and be like, all right, well, this is what you did this morning, the 8 o'clock hour, it really dragged. We got to move things quick. Whatever those notes are, he needs that.
Yeah, well, Karl, he just had that meeting in front of us in his head, and the meeting consisted of, guys, staff, I need you to know once that sign is here, I'm really going to want to play. I'm just going to want to play with it. So I'm just, leave me alone. I want to play with my toy.
I think Opie doesn't realize about himself is like, you're not good at entertaining people. You were good when you came in and sat down and 4 interns had put sheets in front of you telling you what to talk about. Yep. Doing all the work and prep for you made you seem like you were interesting, made you seem like you had opinions and thoughts that were captivating to people. But we see when you go live on your own, like, there's nothing there. It's an empty vessel. And now he's literally become Stuttering John. He's literally just arguing with super chats. But I will say this, he's actually getting super chats now. So maybe he's tapped into something. I don't know.
You talk about Opie?
Yeah.
Oh, the other night, and not to make this about Opie, I promise I won't. The other night, Anthony sent a bunch of people over to watch his stream from Gebhard's. And I was watching, I don't normally watch Opie, but I was watching him, and I'm like, holy shit, there's 158 people in here? This is big numbers for Opie. And then you read the chat, and every person is clowning Opie in the chat because they all came over from, Anthony sending the link to him.
It's the same thing with Steel Toe, but he blocks them all. And that's why when I snipe him, I put the chat up there because it is tumbleweed. It is a ghost town over there. Like, there's nothing going on. Wrenches.
Yep.
Saying stuff, but other than that, really nothing.
One of the lies he keeps bringing up is that April ratted out everyone to the cops. That's something he's been saying a lot. Like, he's trying to throw April under the bus. That's one of the things he's going with. But I just want to bring this up in comparison. So this is the only thing that Aaron's
amateur.
This is the only thing that Aaron's lawyer, Todd V. Peterson, sometimes bad things happen to good people. This is one of the only things that he submitted as part of Aaron's case. He's saying basically that Aaron has snitched to such a degree on these people that it should be used as evidence in this case. That is, I mean, the only person that there's evidence of snitching on anyone in this situation is Aaron.
My client reports that he gave statements to law enforcement against the parties as part of these prosecutions. Like,
what follows is
thanks for letting us know, nerd.
40 pages worth of documents that talk about that. So yeah, every accusation is a confession with this guy. Like every time he accuses someone else of doing something, he's probably done that.
Let me go through some other lies that he had.
Right.
We broke this down on WTP this week. I had some fun with this because it's amazing that Hackamania was such a miserable failure and everyone hated it and everyone got bed bugs and everyone got their USB cables stolen by the host of the show. And yet we're doing it again, May 9th through 11th, Hackamania.com.
Adam Busch is going to be there.
Oh, is that official?
Yes. Unless he's lying.
That's awesome.
Oh, no, I'm going to be there.
Oh, sweet.
I'm going to show up with a trench coat and a boombox and a girdle and a dream.
You better. So Aaron was talking about what a miserable disaster Hackamania was and how nobody had any fun at all and the venue, was empty. And he goes through and he says everyone came home with bed bugs. It's like, well, you know that's a lie. Like, he knows that's a lie. That if people had bed bugs, there'd be news about that. Like a hotel giving people bed bugs is a problem.
Not just people, everyone. He said everyone that went got bed bugs.
I can tell you that the person who started the bedbug rumor was Lance, which is the same person that told Aaron about the dog, like Patrick dressing the dog up.
Oh, and he claims that that's still a true thing. He's like, yeah, Patrick keeps denying this, but of course that's his dog. Like, we've proven on this program it's not his dog.
Someone went in there like before the show and took a picture with like all the seats empty, and it's just like they believe anything, and they love it. They love to like. It's what I've said before. It
was funny. I loved it. I love the bed bugs. I loved the empty room,
and I don't mind it because what I always say is ask anybody who was there.
Right. My point is, he's trying to clown this event that we're doing again a year later.
Yes.
Typically, when I throw an event that's a flop and sucks, I don't think, well, we got to try that one more time.
Well, have you seen the Steel Toe anniversary show? He has that every year, and it's a complete fucking disaster every fucking time.
And he's making wholesale changes to it. So he knows it was a disaster.
Well, I have a clip of that coming up. But first, we should get into some of these super tips because they are piling up. Paul Shea says Moody groomed April. I don't know if that's a fact, but he did meet her when she was very, very young. I'll say that.
She was in high school.
Bubble Popper 24. They had the standing bit worked out before the show. As soon as Toe started whining about the goal, Johnny jumped in with the plan. There was zero discussion. I don't think they talk off the show.
I don't think so either, because what happened was there was a super chatter who was calling out another super chatter, and Aaron's face lit up, and he's like, "Oh, could this be a super chat war?
Did we just come up with the best idea ever?"
Yeah. He literally was like hoping
it was going to be the first thing.
He was hoping they were going to go back and forth calling each other out for $5 at a time.
They also don't talk to each other before the show. Johnny joins the show after it starts, and Aaron brings up Zoom. Like
it's muted, and they got to figure out the camera, and then Johnny will be like, "Your camera's not on." Like they have to do that every day. Colin Madden, Johnny stunt was some sort of Marina
Abramovich.
I don't know that.
Marina Abramovich performance art piece that reveals the inherent cruelty of people in general. And Colin, you are 100% right. She's a performance artist who does crazy pieces where she'll appear at the art gallery, lay out a bunch of weapons, and go, "Do whatever you want to me." And after a couple days, people start. She did that thing where you just stare at her. And
it's Lord of the Flies. They behave in the beginning, but then they start getting bored.
And she's dedicated her life to these weird, proving how awful human nature is. So Colin's on the money there.
Dame Taft, Moody, what are you, Moody Blue or something? Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
No, it's actually an erasure of my
home run.
It's an erasure of my ethnic identity because Western people can't pronounce my name in full. So thanks for bringing up that trauma.
Ragod says, "Yo, I made a super tip as the show starts with Gino. Can you play it?" Yeah, you don't have to send in super tips that say play your super tip.
No, you have to. You have to.
Sorry, Ragod. I don't know what you're trying to say here. Can you clarify? Anonymous, nice heat miser hairdo, Melton. I don't know about that. Come on.
Yay. You think you got me, Moody? Didn't your boyfriend Melton once have a send in your nickel scam? Boom! Got you!
I did make people mail in nickels to me once. But I showed proof that we got them. Yanked a Doodle. Breaking news: the ratings dropped after Clubfoot joined today's This Little Piggy. The
This is
ratings
true, yeah.
dropped. The ratings. We can't wait until he starts imparting his words of wisdom in his fake radio announcer's voice and fake laugh. Get on that.
Are they
Karl,
looking at the quarter hour ratings numbers? Wow.
No, we had that. Queefer Studle and Adam, please do the OJ impression for Melty. Go on Tukey Soup.
I'd love to go on Tukey Soup.
What's your OJ impression?
I think the key to a good OJ is to make a very bold statement and then back off it immediately. So, you go, I feel strongly that it doesn't matter.
Okay. Maybe OJ will be there, guys.
We had Tri-County match the 2,000 that was donated, and we pocketed the other 2. Another win for the toe.
Again, I think he thinks that he should get a processing fee. You're probably right about that.
Yo, Big Sauce, let's blow this popsicle stand. I just re-upped on Snow and Herb, and some fresh cat is here. Hit me up.
Don't invite Patrick.
Shut up, fool, and get back to the SpaghettiOs.
No, I refuse. I will call the cops.
You fin snitch. You dimed out our wife, her biff. And now you're gonna dime me out? Hell now.
A lot of nonsense. Thank you, Rod God. Save some money for your family.
Is Moody coming to Docomania? It would be fun to have a Doom Coon in Las Vegas to play with.
Docomania?
We've got Busch. We've got Busch.
We do have Busch.
How do I
Friends of the
share?
nerds.
Do I camera? New camera, good video. Paint wall, bad. Goal, good.
What if I have to move? It's like, you can paint again, right? Like, I've never seen this argument before from anyone. Like, I'm not going to paint. We might have to move. This is the people who put plastic over their furniture, right? Like,
I'm not going to enjoy this space.
I don't want to use it because then it won't be new. It's like, what are we doing? It does get ratty and old under the plastic. You might as well just sit on it, fart it up. Beloved chatter, the only fourth wall he believes in are made of vinyl. I don't get that. I mean, I know what a fourth wall is, but what's the vinyl? Anybody?
Like a padded room mental
I don't even
thing? Is it a sex thing? I don't know.
Beloved chatter's usually on. I don't know. John People, Adam, any tips on maximizing body storage in my basement? Seriously, though, I enjoy hearing your take on these dabble adults. Love the sheeshed Moody. Okay. I'm sorry. I came really out of the boat on fire. Trump has the same sort of plan as Moobs with tariffs. Let's not get political, guys.
Hey, buddies, just thought I'd test this Geno voice. I gotta say, pretty accurate. I just typed 3 words, and now I'm babbling an insane diatribe like an unhinged tard.
Pretty good.
It is pretty good.
Kevy Dondada, Patrick, I've been made aware by the toe of you having cancer on your face. Can you please get that checked out? I do. I have a guy looking into it. Ray Balls, what happened to Aaron's store? Well, people weren't getting their merch, so Aaron is building a new store, he's announced. And the first shirt that's going to be in that is the Cucko the Clown
I'm trying to
shirt.
print out Cheetos coupons and my anniversary party, but it says printer offline. F this, I'm going to buy another one.
Have you seen the Cucko the Clown shirts that he made?
I haven't seen them.
Have you heard about Cucko the Clown?
Yes.
Because Johnny's really like rubbing this into him, and Aaron's trying to like own it. Like, yeah, Cucko the Clown. That would be funny. He said for $1,000 he will wear face paint for an entire show and call himself Cucko the Clown.
I have to tell you, so Patrick's on WATP tomorrow. I'm excited about that. Darkside Phil was recently asking for $900 to shave his face. These are the same people now.
Right.
But he won't eat butter. He thinks that's a step below him.
He's done so much worse than it.
No, renovate a garage. Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, good point. A wall, but he'll renovate a garage. I didn't even think about that.
Well, but to his credit, he goes, I thought about doing this, but I'll never do it. He literally said that. Like,
right.
Then why are you bringing it up?
Because you could say that about most of the things he brings up.
Right.
Hey, Steel Toe Man, can I come over and eat the paint chips after you redecimate? I'll let you lick my stinky slots.
I too am out of paint chips.
Glad that my wife's taking off all the heat away from Karl's wife on this program.
But could you imagine working with him, or
Sorry.
let it go. Could you imagine working with him, or like being in a relationship with him where he sits and goes, "Listen,"
until the very last few weeks of the year, where we turn a profit and get into the black.
Sorry,
call me Zero Cool. I found out about Command Prompt and pinged Moody's website. Next, I will hack the whole site. Slam piece. Do you know about SQL injections?
All right, sorry, Adam. Go ahead.
No, what are SQL injections?
We've sanitized our inputs, don't worry.
A database attack.
Oh, can you imagine like being in a working relationship with him or any kind where he sits around and doesn't just tell you things he wants to do that will never happen, but he tells you in advance. I just want to talk about things that I'm telling you now will never happen. Go on, please. As an investor in your business and a relationship, this is what I had always dreamed of.
Well, he told the kids that April would be there forever, mommy. So he loves saying stuff he'll never do. Got him. Naturally negative. Giving my $2 to keep Clubfoot Karl standing. We should make Karl stand for the entire program. Tim Bullinger, is Adam going to go to the White Castle dinner?
I haven't been formally invited, but I check the mail every day.
Friday. I don't think he'll be there on Thursday. By the way, there's
fucking footed, you asswipe.
Hackamania.com. We are taking signups for the High Roller Dinner. There are less than 10 spots left for the High Roller Dinner if you want to eat with the famous people and hobnob with the best at Oscar's Steakhouse.
And I'll be there too.
Yes. Aaron and April's last really nice dinner out was at Oscar's Steakhouse, the very same in Las Vegas. So it really does have some nostalgia there. So we hope
you can get the Joey C steak.
Yes, there's a Joey C filet mignon on the menu at Oscars, and also the butter eating contest that we're having on Saturday during my show. There are 6 slots left. Go ahead and sign up for that now. Hackamania.com. Get your tickets.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year, Blade.
Happy New Year.
Colin Madden, I initially felt the same as Adam, but my opinion of Bauer diminished quite a bit when he stole the fantasy football money from his friends and fans. Yeah, Adam probably is not aware of that. Saga, but there's always an excuse though, you know. I can't imagine raising money for something and not keeping that siloed. Like if you're raising money for veterans, you don't mix it in with your personal funds. If you're selling tickets to Hackamania, you don't go and buy a Tesla with it.
Oh fuck.
Coming next week, this little donkey lips, take that for what you mean it for.
This little
Why would I
donkey
take care of kids that aren't my kids? Why should I get the blame? Forever mommy my ass?
No, the kids have 2 moms and 2 dads.
2 dads? Balin said hell now.
Oh, we're almost through these. There's a long mat when I'm apologizing in advance.
Steel is an alloy of iron and carbon with improved strength and fracture resistance compared to other forms of iron. Because of its high tensile strength and low cost, steel is one of the most common manufactured materials in the world. Steel is used in buildings as concrete reinforcing rods in bridges.
This isn't half over.
Tools, ships, trains, cars, bicycles, machines, and electrical appliances. Iron is always the main element in steel, but many other elements may be present.
I have a meeting in 45 minutes. Should I?
Stainless steels, which are resistant to corrosion and oxidation, typically are 18% chromium. Iron is commonly found in the Earth's crust in the form of an ore, usually an iron oxide, such as magnetite or hematite. Iron is extracted from iron ore by removing the oxygen. Justin Kemble, Issa Troll. The earliest known production of steel is seen in pieces of ironware excavated from an archaeological site in Anatolia.
Oh, God.
Faki Kamen Kalahoyuk, which are nearly 4,000 years old, dating from 1800 BC.
It reminds me of one of my favorite jokes. I watched a documentary on how ships are made. Riveting.
I see. That's what you did.
It's too long. I'm so sorry.
I love the way he's riding me. My booty cheeks are fancy free. However that gay country song goes, Reacher has my Cleveland 4-inch in a chokehold, I tell you. I love the way his booty cheeks bounce
Have you seen the recent pic of me and my 29-year-old bride? The filter is top notch, you bozo-ass motherfuckers. I look not a day past 41. Tell
I am
F
the
the memory
Australian.
gland to call us for a 3-way 2-kiss Gina's V.
Moody tried to lick my cooter cake, but said he needed to squirt mayo on it like his Mac Salad Munchies bullshit. This fucking guy. Nick ate it like Moody ate his legal load.
I'll F a Kramer and she'd hear more money with
Jesus.
sauce.
This is getting too much.
My God's insane.
Insane.
You guys ever see the movie Blank Check?
Yeah.
This kid finds a blank check and then cashes it for $1 million. He buys so much cool stuff and lives all alone. I think about that kid a lot.
That
he does say all the time, like, I wish I didn't have to make money on this show. I wish I could just come down to my basement, pretend to do a radio show.
That movie is wild because it ends with like a grown woman kissing, like intimately kissing an 11-year-old boy, like at the end of the movie. It's weird.
Yeah, I've seen that movie. That wasn't my takeaway, Moody, but that's good for you.
It's strange. It's strange. Like it's a kiss scene between a grown woman and a child. What's going on?
Are we raising all this money for Tukey, by the way? I noticed the code you have up in there in the corner. Is all of this money going to Tukey?
Holy shit, I didn't even see that.
I saw that when I first came up, and I thought I missed the joke. And I was late.
Hold on, let me switch over to Tukey's.
Yeah, let's see how much money he's made on this.
He's got coming in over there.
$1,000 from Rygon.
Holy shit. Look, he's infiltrated the whole. No, only one person did. Rob Saul. Rob Saul did it.
Okay. He's smart, that Rob Saul.
Fuck, yeah. Okay.
Was
Just wanted
it
to make
Rob?
sure.
Was it him or was it just?
Yeah, I mean, it says Rob Saul. I don't know. I didn't verify. Okay, I thought this was another good thing to watch this week. It's him talking about the anniversary show and a little bit more about the studio plans, of course.
Well, the old studio is going to have to, like on a Friday morning after the morning show, we're going to be under construction. And then that next Sunday for the members only show, we're going to get to have the big reveal. Maybe I'll put it like a...
Again, this is something you don't announce. You just do. Like everyone else just does it. Why tell everyone, like, you guys aren't going to believe it? One day, the old studio, and the next show, new studio. It's like, great.
And then explaining when he's going to do it. It's like, yeah, when you don't do a show, that'd be the time that you're going to do that. Yeah,
Right.
that makes sense. It'd be weird
you
to
have
do
a
it while you're
break.
doing a show. And I'm a boomer, so I apologize for this in advance. I blame Howard Stern for all this shit. Thinking that your mundane, nonsensical, this is my life kind of shit is interesting, it's not. Certain people can make it interesting. There's a handful. Most people cannot.
Yeah. Not everybody can do Apple Talk.
Yeah, I'll staple a big bed sheet to the ceiling. That's good. Put staples in the ceiling, you idiot. And then rip it down as the reveal. Or you could just tape it, you dipshit.
Anybody know what kind of tape works on sheets? Like, you have to find a sheet tape.
And who is he talking to? He's like asking these questions.
Right.
Who's he talking to? Who does he think he's talking to?
Let me ask Google, what is the best type of tape to use for sheets?
Duct tape.
That's how he Googles.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he really. This is one of my favorite things he does. Is like, it's literally, what should my show be on my show? Chad does it. It's great. It's like, hey, could you do this on your own time? We all sit around thinking about things to do on our shows throughout the day. I never write that down in my notes. Like, make sure you bring that up, whether you should do that or not. Chad does polls. Like, should I do an afternoon show? What should we talk about?
Should I get blackout drunk?
Yeah.
The reason that you can know for sure that Patrick didn't have access to Aaron's history is that we wouldn't care about the porn stuff. We would be looking at what questions he's asking into Google. That would be endlessly more entertaining than knowing what sort of pornography he's into.
He likes cuckold. He likes cuckold porn. We already know that.
I'm smart enough to keep that to myself.
Right. But I'd love to see the questions. You can map out his entire day and every thought through that.
Yeah. Actually, not a bad idea. So that's coming along nicely. The golf tournament, it does look like we're going to go.
Hold on. He just said, I'll tape a sheet to the ceiling. So that's coming along
nicely.
Like,
the thoughts in his head are coming along nicely.
Yes.
July 25th. It's a Friday. Figured it would be kind of easy for everybody to get a day off work. We want to shoot for.
It'll be easy for everybody to get a day off work on a Friday. Everybody. Again, the audience for this golf tournament are fans of Steel Toe that live in Minnesota that golf that can get a Friday off.
Isn't it a blue collar kind of town? That's why it's called Steel Toe?
Yes.
Okay.
The other thing that people have worked out is that this competition is 2 months after his meeting with Chris Valentine about going back onto late in broadcasting. So he should be working on Fridays, but he doesn't see himself as going to be into work on a Friday in July.
Well, dude, they'll do the remote out on the golf course.
Right.
He'll put a clip-on mic on. He'll narrate every drive, every putt. He'll describe the fairway and glorious. They should have sent a poet. You know what I mean? He's going to be out there.
Low end 50.
It'll be Jim Nancy.
High. I don't want to do any more than 75 the first year. After talking to all the golf,
he doesn't want any more than 75 players in this golf tournament. He's
retarded.
so delusional.
How many? So a PGA event, how many golfers are there?
About 150.
But I mean, that's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous
He's
number
going to
of
get
golfers.
75. Well, the thing is, he's going to get like all these losers out there. It's like when we threw that poker tournament at the Borgata we got our own poker table at the Borgata with Kevin Brennan because people wanted to play. Nobody knew how to play poker, and the dealer was getting pissed off because the game was taking forever, but people wanted to sit at a poker table with Kevin Brennan.
Right.
It's going to be the same thing. You're going to get crunchy
Hello,
and
gentlemen
cheese.
of culture. If you had to choose who you would F, would it be me or Chrissy? Pat Dixon likes some horse face, so yeah.
Hey, I would F you, baby, if I already didn't have a wife that I F.
But we don't F. It's all a beard. I too have been a beard.
Hello, ladies. I'm very interested in taking you on a date one time, probably the last time.
I'd pick Chrissy over Felicia any day.
Chrissy
Maybe
any
that's
day. In all categories, it's Chrissy.
I lost what I was saying. Oh, the golf tournament. It's going to be like crunchy cynicism and cheese and hobo chili recipe. It's like they may have never golfed in their life. And I don't know if you've ever watched somebody try to hit a ball who's never golfed in their life. It's a lot harder than it looks.
Gray Duckley gets a 17 on the hole number 1. All right.
Yeah.
Write
So
that
in
down.
his mind, everyone's going to go out every 7 minutes. A new pairing's going out.
Yeah.
It's so insane.
I think realistically, he could have gotten like 2 golf carts worth of fans and just had like a Steel Toe Golf VIP experience. Like that seems achievable. 75-person tournament.
You can auction off space. You could be like, we're going to have 4 carts and you could buy a slot.
Mm-hmm.
That would actually make money.
Dill Pickle says, I hope you get the fat lawyer to come. Look, the fact that I know you're talking about Sean, I feel bad because now I just kind of technically called him the fat lawyer. I would never call him that. I like Sean. But if Sean golfs and he wants to come out and do the golf thing and he wants to show up for the anniversary show at Stoney's,
he doesn't.
Yeah, we might have a little bit in the budget for old Sean.
You don't.
You don't. He doesn't.
I want to know how these guys run an event. Like, I have a spreadsheet for every single thing. Payments for people, hotel rooms for people, flights for people, costs of goods and services that I need to obtain in order to
right.
Dr. Steve. But like,
not even joking.
His thing of like, we might have something in the budget. It's like, you do not. Also, let's not forget this Sean, the lawyer guy, is like the only lawyer out of all these losers who covered all this stuff, who like befriended Aaron and frequently gets things wrong, but he blows smoke up Aaron's ass. So now, of course, Aaron thinks he should come out and be a part of the event. But he would be one of the most capable talkers, like, because Johnny and Whistly Pete and all these other people, like, they're not good on a microphone. So he could get this lawyer out to talk, I guess. Filibuster.
We might have a little bit in the budget to throw Sean a couple of bones and come on out. Why not? But we've got definitely 2 people confirmed. That's a damn good idea, though.
That's Gino and Kiki.
Wait, this is the golf tournament he's talking about still?
Yeah.
Well,
It's anniversary weekend. The golf tournament's on a Friday, and the anniversary show and cornhole tournament are going to be Saturday. He's also decided to have the comedy show in the afternoon at 2 p.m.
Smart.
And because everybody's too drunk. The comedians he hires can't be trusted to not get too
Oz
drunk.
looks like a drunk, cracked out version of baseball great Keith Hernandez.
So yeah, that's part of it, I think.
Reaching out to him, see if he wants to.
He also
he's
can't.
He's
He
confirmed
can't.
that Tino and Kiki are coming, by the way. Like, so they're back in, baby.
He also can't. He can't say their names because they are trying to not come to testify as witnesses in his trial.
Yeah, it's going to be a big surprise, even though they've already said it on their show.
You know, they say it's like healthy to like envision what you want and to fantasize a little bit to actually see it. I can't believe this guy is comfortable doing this on screen, not just fantasizing about what he wants to happen, but letting it get to the point where like he's over it and annoyed by it and he has too many people showing up and now he needs to put a cap on this 75. Like he lets it get to the point where he's over it and moved on and doesn't want this fantasy anymore. That's how much he just lives there because he has no experience in it just happening and lasting.
Well, let's not forget he got $150 in donations from like 2 or 3 people one day who said yes, do a golf tournament.
Y'all MFers hit me up later. This tool is effing lit. I want to invest.
And then he used those 2 or 3 super chats because they were high dollar value, $100 or whatever. He used that to say, look, the demand is there. He literally said that. He's like, the people want it. I got $150 for this. The people want a golf tournament. It's like if he would put up a sign-up sheet, a digital sign-up sheet where people had to commit to it and hand over money, he's going to find out very fast that it's going to be hard to get. I think it'll be hard for him to get a dozen people. Like, I really do. Like, he's out of his mind.
And the really sad part is what you said earlier, Melton. It's that all he wants to do is talk about it. Like, he doesn't want to do anything. He just wants to drag it out. It's going to happen. It will. It just happened. Doesn't really matter if it ever does because it's all just radio. It's all show his whole life.
It also goes back to what Patrick always talks about with fat girls saying, I'm going to go on a diet, and then getting everyone going, wow, it's amazing, you're great. Then they never go on a diet. And I think he does the same thing. He's like, I'm going to have a golf tournament with 75 people. It's going to be amazing. And it's like, all right, well, you don't have to do it now because you said it. So it's done.
He lays down at night and he goes, God, wasn't my golf tournament awesome?
And when people call them out on it, they actually feel like, well, I could have. Like, isn't that close enough? I could have done it. I just chose not to.
Well, it's like Chad does for his events. He's just like, no, the reason we didn't do it is because I couldn't do it at the level. Like, I wanted it to be amazing, and because it couldn't be that, I canceled it. This is like when Kramer bet Seinfeld that he was gonna build all the levels in his room, and then there's like, yeah, well, I decided not to do it. And he's like, yeah, that was the bet.
Right.
The bet is whether you're gonna do it or not. You can't back out and go, yeah, well, I changed my mind. It's like that. Yeah, that's the bet.
Damn thing. I like that idea. Pray by 12 says, hey, Sean should be the MC. Dill Pickle says Sean does golf. All right. The golf and the beer's on me. And then if he wants to stay for the anniversary show, a little something, for his travel and for his effort. Dill Pickle says, can we get a naked twister tournament in this year? I think that would really fit in. Here's what we'll do.
So all you have to do is put an idea in his head. He loves like just running with a comment.
These are all
This
free
is not
chats.
this is a free chat. He's like, you know what we'll do? We will do a twister tournament. It's like, fuck. Like, fuck.
Sean will agree to come to the anniversary weekend, and if he agrees to be part of it, then yes, off to the side we'll have Sean call Twister. I think
he's so bad at leaning into it. Like, he tried to lean into the bit with the Twister giveaway signed Twister games and stuff, and nobody gave a fuck. When he tries to lean into things, people just go, okay, whatever.
Yes.
No one wants to play Twister at your golf tournament. That's not going to happen.
They're fucking with you, idiot.
They're fucking with you.
Perfect. If we had Sean do that. Hey, guys, thank you very much. On Friday, we had a huge Rumble Friday. That was big. I'm like,
okay, Karl, I like this because you played a clip on this on WATP. I think, Adam, you were on that show where he literally was like, no links are coming in, Rumble rants, follow, subscribe. Like, he was literally mumbling and going through the motions of promoting his show. It was such a bad one. You can go back and watch that Rumble Friday. He's like, this is not good. It's not going well. These numbers are it's not good numbers to look at. It was one of the worst Rumble Fridays ever. And now he's like, it was amazing. It
was epic.
What's happening? Like, I know that that's what this show is. It's like, what the fuck is this guy doing? But like, I don't understand how he's satiating his, like, how is he tricking himself into thinking he's having such an amazing life?
I think the word gaslighting is overused. I don't like to use it, but there's no other term for Aaron's show than gaslighting. That's all he's doing.
Though. That's what,
yeah.
But himself. It's like, you didn't have a good Friday. And the people know because they didn't give money. So, like, what
But
are we
doing? The record shows that he said that it was a good Friday and therefore it's Good Friday.
Right. I feel like you're right. I feel like that's what he cares about. He's like, no, remember I said it was good?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, okay.
What are his sources of income? He makes money from this show and from that coaching thing. And is there anything else?
Well, he doesn't coach anymore, I don't think. And his store isn't open anymore, so I don't think that's a revenue stream. It's literally just this. It's literally just Super Chats, Rumble Rants, Venmo, PayPal, memberships, gifted memberships.
I was trying to work this out because I looked at what he makes in a month on YouTube, and it's in Super Chats. His take home pay is about $2,500. So there's another $7,500 a month. Yeah.
No.
There's another $7,500 that's coming from somewhere.
No, but that website does track your Super Chats pretty accurately.
Yeah. So that is showing it's 3,500, I think, is the number.
Okay.
2,500 take home. So after the 30% cut from YouTube, it's about 2,500 is what he takes home.
Right.
There's 7,500
Rumble Rants and Venmo and Streamlabs.
But it's something we speculated on for a while that like the PayPal Venmo side of it is made up because either he's panicking about nothing or he's faking it so much and he's actually like in financial trouble and he's like, this is a manifestation of actual panic and worry because he's making so little and faking these big donations on PayPal and Venmo. You know what I mean? Because if he says like what he says, we're scraping by, we barely make what it takes, we're in the red. Okay, then that energy matches what he's saying because this is insane desperation, panic. But if he's making $10K a month, where does all this anxiety come from? And why?
I shared my screen. I just want to play a clip, I guess.
To answer your question, Patrick, he's a sales guy. He worked in sales when he was on the radio. And in sales, you're only as good as yesterday.
It's Super Chats, EBT, food stamps, Venmo, Cash App, Streamlabs, Rumble Rants, money orders. I need to pay my lawyer.
Yes, the camera demands it.
So these are the Super Chats that the Steel Toe Morning Show makes for the last month. This line here is 200, 400's just up here. And this is the total amount. So it's before the cut is taken. It's 3,321 in the last month. So 70% of that is 2,500.
Generous. 70's being generous because if you do it through Apple, it's more.
Let's be generous. It's $2,500, and he makes, if every goal is hit, he makes $10,000 a month. So there is $7,500 coming from Rumble and PayPal, supposedly, if he's knocking out these goals.
Is there anything like this that tracks Rumble earnings yet?
No, not that I know of. But it's not looking good.
Thanks for that chart. We definitely couldn't have just heard that. That was really good.
I like to show. I like to show.
He took the shots at you. You get him.
Yeah. That's fair. I'm not gonna fight back. You got me. I was rude
No,
before.
it's cool. Just keep cutting everybody off. Everybody loves it. The point is that.
Thanks, dude. Looks like another win for the toe.
Whatever he's making and however much he is depriving his kids of whatever they need, I don't think it matters. I think as long as in this small town he can continue to not tell people that he works a regular job and everyone around him can know in this small town where there's just not a lot of artists and others, where everybody's working a steel-toe job, he still gets to be that other thing, and that other thing is more important to him than anything else in the world. And we see that with John, and we see that with Chad. That's it. They have to be, we saw Rob Saul would rather just be humiliated and debased every night for hours by a drunken buffoon than have to tell somebody at the bar that he does something they've never heard of. But if he can just say, remember the Howard Stern show? Well, there was this guy, and that's me. That's so much better than having to, say I do a thing and it's a failure. It's just anything they'll put up with for that. And this is what we're watching.
Literally said months ago, I will go work at any radio station in town that'll have me for free. I'll do it for free. The perception is so much more important. And I think you're right with Rob Saul. Rob Saul would dress up as a fire hydrant and let dogs piss on him for months.
Shut up, Adam. This is my show. You're just a guest.
He would actually pay the dogs for that.
Yes. All right. Yeah, I think you're right. It's the illusion. But he admitted he loves feeling like a celebrity when he walks around town. People recognize him. It's a very important part of who he is.
And in that town, I bet there is people come and they talk to him like, oh, this is interesting. We don't meet a lot of that. And without that, he's nothing. They all feel that. That's why he still calls himself Stuttering John, because he'd so much rather be that thing you've heard of that's miserable than something new that you haven't heard of.
And failure to recognize that Stuttering John moniker is irrelevant now, and you should pivot on to something else and become known for who you are. If John Melendez, whatever he wants to be, a politician now or a pundit, it's like it would be smarter to rebrand and move forward. But no, he's got to hold on to the one thing I was that one time I was something.
Mm-hmm. And prove everybody wrong, because if they know I gave up on this, then they've won.
Karl?
I was just going to say, Aaron put up that billboard. There is.
Yes.
That's how you know he needs to be a celebrity so bad. That's such a waste of money. That's what attorneys do. Like, they need their face to be on billboards, but he needed that so badly.
It was his Twitch URL that he put up on a billboard.
Wow. Well, the attorneys do it for a reason. It's so that you remember them if you get into an accident or if you get arrested.
Tell me
for
how advertising works, Moody. Explain that to me.
Were you involved? There's no one here that was involved in advertising specifically from the buying
lawyers
side.
don't do that just on a whim. They actually do it for a reason. All
right.
That's good.
But there's no one that's going to get into a situation where they're like, I got to remember the Steel Toe Morning Show. That's not an emergency.
I want something to watch. If only I'd seen a billboard.
Yeah. I wonder if maybe digital marketing would work better for something that's on Twitch. I don't know. I could be crazy.
But it's that the URLs on the shirts that he's selling. Never once have I noted down a URL I've seen written on a t-shirt to visit later.
It's like an Oscar season in LA. It's just for your consideration, Steel Toe Morning Show.
Right.
No, Karl, you said it. They're going to find those Twitch users where they live on the freeway.
Right.
Doubt that Rumble has been botting. We're pretty sure Rumble's been botting our Friday.
So we found out Rumble's been botting his shows. We're pretty sure now.
Also, Rumble doesn't need to bot. They can just add a number to the viewer.
What are you talking about?
plus
also, this
100.
hurts his we get 1,100. We get 4. It's which is it? Are the viewers fake or are they real? Make up your fucking mind.
Friday shows by about 200 people at a time, because we usually peak at about 1,000 to 1,100 on Rumble Friday. And when we started using Rumble Studio, where the ad revenue is determined by viewership, we peak out at 800. So it makes more sense, because when we do the show Monday through Thursday, we're between about 800 and 900. So that just makes sense.
That was true two years ago. That was true. When we first found Steel Toe, he was going 800 to 900 easy every night. Mm-hmm. Now, no way.
Well, I wanted to show what one of these Rumble ads looked like. This is the last thing I'll show today. Thank God. This is unreal. I want you to see what he's doing for his program. And he's shown the back end where he makes $13 for these little ads.
He's shown that, or you're talking about Mersh?
He's shown it.
Oh,
he accidentally showed the back end where it said he was making $13 for an ad.
Oh, no.
And it said that the minimum number of people watching to be able to be eligible for this campaign was 33. So if you have 33 people watching your stream, you can do this ad.
The weird thing about this is that I've never seen him more in his element than when he's doing these ad reads. Like, there's a switch that goes off in his head, and he is in a different zone where there is some level of competence there. Like, this is where he wants to be.
Because
And then
everything
the
he
show
does,
catches up.
everything he does is self-motivated. He knows he's holding this whole thing up by his hands, and the second he lets go, it's gone. It's all almost an illusion. So any moment, like we're talking about with the numbers, with the ad read, where he gets to just do something that feels like he has a purpose, that he's actually doing something besides like drowning or treading water. Yeah, you're right. He shines. He
To that point, he started doing his Midland Armory and All Care towing ads again, and we know he lost these advertisers, so they came back, or is he again posturing for these radio companies he says are watching him and maybe interested? It's like
he wants to look like a guy who gets sponsors more than he wants to be a guy who gets sponsors. It's the same thing. The sex fight with April. He wants to look like a guy who fucks more than he wants to be a guy who fucks. Like, this is him.
He wants to be a guy who looks like he knows how to make a camera look good rather than taking the course. On how to do camera.
And that is specifically what we've learned from Aaron and John, that if they both had a choice, you can sleep with the woman of your dreams, but you can't tell anyone about it.
Right.
They wouldn't want to sleep with them. They just want to tell
He
everyone
has
about it.
no
What would be the point?
He has no secrets he's taking to his grave. Not one. Not one. Not
And
one
he's literally
memory.
been charged with a crime from it, and he's learned nothing.
Yeah. All right, here's an ad read. I want you to just see the type of product and how familiar Aaron is with it, and why these ads are really effective in helping his show. Here we go.
Holy World with $5 says, getting into the spirit of the show. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm really not going to like this. All right, before we do it, I want to talk to you about 5G free.
Oh, Jesus.
I want to talk to you about things that people are afraid to say out loud. Perfect for this show. Who is in control of America's nukes? Not Biden.
How old is this copy?
What is he talking
It's not Biden.
Meanwhile, we have Russian ships, the coast of Florida, and full-blown wars in Ukraine and Israel.
Oh, I forgot we were watching Rumble. It just reminded me. Okay, yes,
The
Rumble.
world at its most unstable point since World War II, and with nuclear weapons, the stakes are 10 times higher. How do people like you and I stay safe? Every prepper needs to have Radio Guard Ace, the only FDA-approved drug to treat radioactive fallout. Oh, my God.
The only FDA-approved drug.
This is insane.
I take back my previous comment. I was talking about a different attribute.
Wow.
But one of the what Rumble does with these is that they'll audit you. So when that goes up, they'll start recording, and then they send that and they check. His one started with him going, "Oh my God, this is so bad."
Let's do one of these.
You fucking know all about this shit. The feds had it until now.
Only the feds have this pill until now.
That's why Rumble partnered with 5G Free, the only company in the world that has a supply of Radio Guard Ace and the ability to prescribe it prophylactically. Get their radiation emergency kit with Radio Guard Ace potassium iodide, Zofran, and a Geiger counter. Ooh, so you can count the radioactive isotope.
Geigers.
There's simply no other tool in your arsenal to protect against a radioactive threat.
There's one thing this show doesn't like. It's Geigers, if you know what I mean.
Go to 5gfree.com, code STUDIO, save 15% and get your radiation kit now. That's 5gfree.com. Use the code STUDIO to get 15% off your kit. 5gfree.com, code STUDIO.
And he ended the ad before.
Always good to have a reminder that the fucking world's going to end, right?
So there's Aaron. That's what he's doing. That's Rumble Fridays, everybody.
There's different ad reads that I've seen where he's just like, when it's about coffee or something, he's just in the zone and he's like,
even though he doesn't like coffee.
Yeah, he
By his
disassociates.
own admission, coffee hurts his tummy. He's not into coffee. I don't know. All right, let's blow through these and we'll get out of here. I know Karl's
I do have to run.
Ready? Oh, do you want to plug your nonsense?
Let me plug my nonsense real quick because I do have to run. But guys, thank you so much for having me.
He's going to talk about Dabble House.
This little
Kind
piggy.
of bullshit.
DabbleCon.live. I ask you all to check that out. We're going to be doing a whole content house from Florida with the Uncle Rico show and Who Are These Podcasts next weekend. And we have some shows where we do behind the paywall because we have Kate Meany talking to a very horny and a very desperate stuttering John. Didn't know he was being taped, and we have the calls. We'll be playing them, and you can hear them, DabbleCon.live. Thanks, guys.
Adam, do you have to go, or can you stick around?
No. I want to mention something real fast. You can get out of here, Karl. Chad today, he said that nobody has the right to make fun of Aaron and Steel Toe because there was a previous time where people had said something nice about him. And then he was playing clips of Kumia and Karl saying nice things about Aaron and saying this is, hypocritical. They're flip-floppers. They have no moral compass. How can you change your mind about someone? What I love about what you do, Melton, in this whole world is I love the over-analyzation of just stupid shit as if it's important and getting down to the minutia when it could be spent on anything that would be actually helpful. The idea that it's punk. It's so wasteful to spend all this time arguing about the difference between $13 and $150. But I love it. That's really funny to me. So when this morning show of him and April, that felt like a morning show, was covering Stuttering John, I was like, oh, that's funny. Like, I don't really like watching it, but I like the idea that it's this chirpy morning couple and this pretty woman and they're, talking about what John did today. That's really funny. Then, as this thing unraveled before us, it became the most addictive, unbelievable, sensational story that when I'm describing the Dabbleverse and all this shit to people, it's the only thing they'll immediately get hooked on and go, I can't believe that couple did that and broke up in real time, and you got to watch it while they were claiming everything was fine. And now it's a news story, and for Chad to say that we are weak because we were interested in that and changed our mind is insane. It's okay to change your mind about people.
Also, as they say, things change, Mox. Chad can't imagine things changing because he has been and will continue to be a wet-brained loser criminal. So when I found Steel Toe, and I still admit this, it was a Minnesota cornball radio couple that was able to do radio and talk about the news and traffic and the local mall closing. That's what they talked about. Just dumb local shit. He never made the real jump to the internet and figuring out that oh, you're talking to a much broader audience now. And that's why he's trapped between this, he's literally said there's nowhere for growth on the internet. It's no, not when you're talking about the mall or the weather in Minnesota. Of course not. But he has changed. What his show is not what his show is. He has lost all his self-confidence. He's insecure as hell. His life is falling apart. He's losing all of the people around him who are his friends and co-hosts. So it's insane now. Like you said, watching this unravel and become a news story where a guy just keeps stepping on rakes and making his personal situation as well as professional situation more and more untenable is entertaining to watch. And to watch him from 4 years ago go, radio's dead. This used to be on their website. Radio's dead. We're doing something new. This is the way forward. To now being I want to retreat back to radio. It's mind-boggling. So things change, and your opinion on those things based on how they change should change.
My opinions are going to change based on this person's actions.
Right.
He was at a crossroads in his life that was so fascinating to look at. And he could have, A, decided to save his marriage and go back and get April. B, just devote his life to making this the best show it could possibly be and reinventing this internet thing. Or he could put all of his energy into putting up appearances and giving the impression of someone who's winning while it's raining hell on him. And he just does that all day long while it's just plates crashing, and we get to watch it. Who wouldn't want to look at that?
There's the thing that I think is so confusing about it is the audience, the intended audience for it. So yeah, Patrick, when we first saw him, it was a Minnesota radio show for people in that Minnesota area. But as they go to like the wider internet, if you want to grow there, then you need to shift what the point of view or what your expected audience is. So you could still do a very local show, which is, I'm going to show St. Cloud as it is to the rest of the world. So you interview people from the street. You start talking about St. Cloud Superman. And like you introduce the St. Cloud, Minnesota concepts to a wider audience and make them palatable. That's a way to have like a local show that only you can do, but to a wider audience. But he doesn't do that. Instead, what we've got now is a show where the host is incredibly arrogant. They are not nearly as intelligent as they believe they are. He believes he's constantly winning, even though he's not. And it's just really fun to, in a world where we're constantly being lied to in all sorts of media, have one guy do it so stupidly that it's easy and satisfying to pick off the lies one by one. And it's incredibly low stakes, but it's incredibly satisfying to be like, yeah, he's obviously lying here because here's the clip. And then you play it and he freaks out about it. And that's so fun. It's so fun.
And to your point, you asked who is the audience for this. It's in his head. That's all that's left, which is why there's no growth left for him. And he's aware of that.
Plays that clip of the crowd going wild constantly because it's like he can't stop hitting it now. It's just
it's the quote from
like that's how the toad does it.
I've said this a few times, but B. Smiley said this 3 weeks ago. It's a comment. He said the only way that Aaron could win these imaginary battles is with more imagination. And that's just never like that hasn't left me. It's so good.
Fantastic. Let's jump through these.
So yeah, I guess this Moody guy just counts everyone's money now. Fuck Melton. He's such a piece of shit. What's the gross and what's the net? Huh, Melton? Fucking loser. I mean, come on, man.
I get it. Aaron, look at me. Tesla, dog who loves me, slow wife. I got it all. But most importantly, check out this stray across hairline. Yes. Luscious locks, bitch. I didn't have to comb any of this over. Just there.
Who was that guy's avatar?
That was me.
I know.
Aaron thrives on his false perception that he is a big fish in a small pond, Minnesota. Also, dominate that Kiwi nerd, Adam. Yeah, we're gonna have you guys on just to fight in the future.
It was well deserved. That's one of the meanest questions I've ever asked anyone. I'm so sorry, Adam.
Oh god.
This knuckle Adam, man, he's so heavy full on this spectrum. He's almost pure white. How long does it take you to learn a new emotion, robot? Stop scaring me with your zoned out eyes.
I want to be the guy who looks like he likes the taste of cum, but not the guy who actually likes the taste of cum. Okay, Moody, whatever that means. So it's my brain telling me Nick's cum tastes great.
Yeah,
he wants to look like the guy who doesn't eat cum while not really being the guy who doesn't eat cum.
He wants his cum and the denial about the cum too, is what you're trying to say. Adam got it wrong. Twitch users under the freeway are probably the best people for Steel to have.
Under the freeway, you're right. And I guess the difference, Moody, between me...
Tanking.
Go ahead. Sorry,
I guess the difference between me and a lot of those other people, to answer your awful question from before, is that when that previous person chatted in that, what are we going to do about my staring off into the distance, creepy look? I don't immediately feel compelled to like contact my optometrist and get my prescription so I can show that I in fact do not have a creepy eye, and then do a whole show based on proving like it's just funny and I don't give a shit.
This is what you're doing now is almost that. You know what I mean?
You're right.
Like,
I think you're right. I'm addressing it. I am. I'm addressing it.
You fucked it up.
You're right. You're right. All right, I'm gonna go now. That's it. I'm out.
Glad I still have my commemorative silver coins. Oh no, where are they?
I stole them, Grandpa. I needed to take care of an emergency before Project 2025 starts.
Where's your grandmother? My chest hurts.
She's been dead for 10 years. I can give you the money back, but it's all in Fat Rigger coin. You got that Phantom app?
Well, I'm glad I already got my plane ticket. See you boys at Hackamania. Adam, you're a wonderful addition to the Dabbleverse.
Yes, and you'll be a wonderful addition to Hackamania, May 9th through 11th, hackamania.com. Promo code NLO. Get your tickets now. We're promoting it. Cash, the toe grew up with no friends, so he has to have an amazing imagination. Maybe something to that. He had a sister, right?
He had.
I'm trying to get in on this golf competition. There's some prize scratch, right?
Oh, geez, this is awkward. I'm not sure if you going would be a good idea. My fans can be a bit unruly.
Yo, Aaron. I've been calling him that since I met him. He can handle it. I'll have a GoFundMe organized for Spider and get you your entry fee. Just don't check his golf bag.
Gotcha, bitch. Now I need to get a job.
I don't know if Aaron. I don't know if he has an imagination. It's something else. It's like an ability to disassociate, or it's like just to block out whatever's happening or go. Because his imagination is stunted. Like he has no good ideas. He doesn't have a wild fantasy life. He just has
everything's
like
gay. That's
yeah.
gay.
He doesn't have but he has an ability to block things out or to just
he can
not hear
a
them.
lot of la.
Yeah, it's that, and that's not imagination.
He can rewrite reality. It's like gaslighting himself. He lies to himself more than he lies to the audience, and he lies to the audience a lot.
That's it. He probably has trauma and experience from going, this isn't happening, and now he's like a pro.
And this is why it's not happening, and then he explains it. But just to go back, someone, I think Cash said he didn't have any friends. I don't want to make up lies about Aaron. He did, from what I've heard, he had at least 3 friends at high school when he was growing up. So, no, he did have friends growing up.
Got him. Hunter Duke, promo code COME, proud potato cuck, less clubfoot yelling and more puppet. Also, can you get Kaylee's boobs on? Kaylee's boobs on. We'll try. Kaylee would be going on the show. Internet person, good show, gentlemen. Thinking of bringing an escort to Hackamania. Patty, do you have any tips? I've never hired one. Not insinuating you're a procurer of escorts, just asking you as a Vegas resident. You won't have to. You'll be on Fremont Street. I imagine you can find yourself an escort. I don't think that's a problem in Vegas. Whatever you want.
Great Adam is here. Now I'm horny.
Oh, boy.
Me too now.
Rub one out.
Money, it's a crime, share it fairly, but don't take a slice of my pie money. So it said it's the root of all evil today. But if you ask for a rise, it's no surprise that they're giving none away.
Yo, Big Sauce, this new crew of Gino, Aaron, Joey C are making the block hot. Joey C said he lost some package to the cop fake ass Newport with no heart he stole from us, Big Sauce.
Yo. That work was taken by the cops. Straighten up your game, Newport lover.
What did this motherfucker just say? I ain't no Spider deal with this.
I got a Ruger. I really do this. Zar-zar-zar-rab-ap.
I don't know what this show is anymore. I really don't.
Rygod's just got more dollars than cents, man.
Yeah. But Rygod, you won't do the $1,000 super tip and really get that clout? Come on, pussy. I'm becoming what I hate. Queever Stutterland. So this guy, not conservative. He's just anti-Semitic.
Nailed it.
Paul Shea, Moody hosts a grad party every year to see the next available crop to groom. And Paul Shea, Moody got scared he was pregnant after drinking that salty man slurry. And that will be, and then we just have memberships. Then we can get the fuck out of this place. Jesus Christ, what a day. Gonzo, Adam Busch, Big Sauce, and Lil Dip. Best lineup ever. Also, fuck Steel Toe. I'm glad he didn't include Karl in that. Thank you for not including Karl in that. He doesn't deserve any of this. KJ gifting 10 memberships. Thank you so much for that, KJ. Durkey Threads, new member, and Mistress Meg also gifting 10 memberships. Thanks so much, Mistress Meg. Kevin Dondada, want to watch this show, but I've been out of work. Please turn on rewind. I mean, come on, what's the reason not to? I want everyone in the chat on the same page. That's why I do that. Master Chief 117 Big Sauce, wish my daughter a happy 26th birthday, please. Happy 26th birthday to Master Chief 117's daughter. We could have used a name. That would have been helpful. Ray Perbutt, member for I heard it when I said it.
Got him.
Member for 4 months. Not just when we want it to end, but realistically, how much longer does this show last? We're done. We're done, except for Ricada.
His show.
A buzzer beater.
Aaron's show, not the.
Oh, sorry. Is that what he's saying? Not just when we want it to end, but realistically, how much longer does the show last? No, I think he's asking about our show.
Right.
Ricada Law member for 6 months. Nice to meet you, Adam. Talk to me sometime if you want more of the story. Peace. Well, hopefully Ricada will be there and Adam will be there. We'll get you both on a panel in Hackamania for this little piggy, and it'll be amazing. Adam, thank you so much.
Wait. Ricada's going to be there? He's going to be there?
Hopefully. That's what he said.
I'm with OJ.
No.
Fuck it.
No.
Fuck it.
It happened again.
That's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. This is bad.
No, I'll be there.
Adam,
It'd be great.
Anything you want to plug you got coming up?
Yes, WATP every Wednesday. I am there. Show up 2:30. That's Pacific time, and show up early, and we'll answer all your questions. Anything you have here that I didn't get to specifically, I'm happy to answer them. And Hackymania, buy your tickets now. Promo code COME.
No, you were an awesome addition. We hope to have you on again. We don't want to take up too much of your time, but we love having you on, and we'll see you at Hackamania. Moody?
Yeah, I'll see you at Hackamania. Looking forward to it. And will be great to meet you in person. But yeah, I'll be there as well. Buy your tickets.
And if we don't get to meet while I'm there, this was enough. This was enough. I think this is
again, high roller dinner, limited slots available, butter eating contest, and get your tickets. It's time, everybody. And then I'll see you tonight for a members only show for Nobody Likes Onions. Bye.
There's a show in town, it's going down. Every week we're back on solid ground. Steel toe slipping, but we're gripping. Got the tea to spill, it's always flipping. From April's script to Aaron's glee. Oh, this drama's just a spree. Polydrama, legal trauma, another win. Oh, that's the karma. This little piggy went to YouTube. This little piggy's on Rumble now. This little piggy's begging for dollars, and this little piggy's breaking down. Wow! Every week we'll recap it slow. Tune in for this little piggy show. From revenge porn to felony, it's a circus, can't you see? The toe is bent, the goal is spent. His empire crumbles, all hell sent. April's playlist on repeat. Aaron's lies we can't defeat. The countdown's on, it won't take long to see this piggy squeal his song. This little piggy went to YouTube. This little piggy's on Rumble now. This little piggy's begging for dollars, and this little piggy's breaking down. Wow! Every week we'll recap it slow. Tune in for this little piggy show. Oh, this little piggy ain't missing a thing. Just sit back, laugh, and watch the king.
Look, we are still live. I forgot. I wasn't supposed to do a members only show tonight. I have company coming into town, and they're going to be here, and I forgot. But now that I've said it, maybe I will pop on at some point and do something. I don't know. But I was planning on doing the members only show tomorrow, and I feel like an asshole letting people believe I was going to do it tonight. But maybe now I'll do it tonight. Moody, maybe I'll do it.
Yeah. And another one tomorrow.
There'll definitely be one tomorrow.
All right.
I'm just saying maybe there'll be one tonight.
It's no one believes you. No one believes you anymore about when the show is going to happen.
Why?
You've heard